The stream is live. Hello.
Hello, friends. We are here for another chaotic Friday night, Saturday morning. There's
Saturday afternoon, thank you very much, because I'm in the future.
Or Saturday afternoon.
Got all the bases covered. Friday night, Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon. And of course, as soon as we go live, Ari's like, hello, people. She knew we were here.
But yeah, so there's no productivity to be had on these lives if you're new here. So these are not sprints. That's why there's no sprints in the there's no sprints in the title. I'm fine. Just bash my knee on my little
I'm that friend that sits over here laughing. Are you okay? But then I'm over here laughing.
But yeah, so there's no productivity to be had during these. So feel free, to mute us and read if that's what you so choose to do. Join in on the conversation, whatever it is that you need to use these for. Listen to us like a podcast if you want while you clean your house, whatever feels nice to you. Okay, all right. Coda, how are you?
Welcome to Neva's Chatty Bits After Dark.
Oh, I could have plugged in my microphone. I'm afraid I'm gonna bash into
That's what you need to do next time.
You should always plug in your microphone for After Dark because you're always like
give you some ASMR. Nicole will be like, I gotta go. Bye.
See you.
Every time I look up, you're like
Coda, how are you? Good?
I'm good. You know what? Like earlier I was a little drunk and
a little drunk.
So I took a nap.
Did you like the message I sent you? Coda, it's nap time.
That was probably shortly before I looked at my friend and was like, "Ooh, I need a nap." Yeah. So, yeah. I'm good
And how was that nap?
It happened right here. And it was good. Like I woke up to Jake Gyllenhaal beating the shit out of some dude. And that was cool.
What were you watching?
Roadhouse.
Oh,
Roadhouse. Like they remade Roadhouse. You remember Roadhouse from when we were teenagers and everybody was like, see Patrick Swayze naked in
I
Roadhouse.
know. Rewind.
Pause. Still frame. God, this VHS isn't
really clear. It was my first screensaver.
So they remade it. I doubt Jake Gyllenhaal gets naked, but I did fall asleep, so I can't report accurately.
Yeah. That was good. Why did they have to go and wreck it and remake it?
Could just left it alone. They wrecked it. I mean, you never know. Jake might be swinging, and maybe. I just fell asleep.
It could have something to do with the copious amounts of alcohol that you had that put you into a coma.
Copious. I mean, a little bit.
Neva's like, oh God, not these two again. Jesus.
Why do I invite these people?
Nicole, how are you?
I'm fine. I haven't even been drinking and I'm fine. I'm just absolutely fine. I'm home. I'm comfortable. I don't have anybody calling me. My daughter's not home. My husband's moving dirt around, playing Tonka trucks and that, literally playing Tonka trucks. He's got a big tipper and all the rest of it. And she's over there helping him. So I'm just cruising. Cleaned the bathroom today because my daughter's a chat. She come home before and I'm like, I cleaned the bathroom. She goes, yeah, I've seen that. I'm like,
yeah, I've seen that. Wow.
So
I know who the goat is around here too. So yeah. Anyway,
That's
I'm great. I'm fine. Yeah.
Oh Lord! All right,
And how are you, Neva? How are you today?
I'm great, honestly. I mean, we're in Iowa. Iowa's just a great place to be.
Downtown Iowa.
There ain't no downtown.
I know. That's why I said it. Because you're as country as I am now.
Yeah, I know, right? I like to be back in my, Midwest country roots. You know what I mean? It's nice here. And I don't know, it was pretty fucking cold today, to be honest, and like windy. But yeah, I got a call today, which was good. And I have to go do something on Monday, which is also good. And that's all the information y'all are gonna know. But yeah, so it's all good.
I know things. No.
So yeah, everything is working along. Also, I started planning Ari's birthday party today because like now she actually gets to have like a birthday party with like people that she actually cares about and not just like my friends. Because that was what's happened the last 2 years. Yeah. So she's decided she wants to invite her entire class, which kind of makes me want to throw up. But we're gonna do it like at the park. I mean, her class is only like 10 kids, so it's not like it's that many people. But it I still have to like talk to their parents, and like I don't really want to do that, but it's fine.
You'll play nice. I struggle to play nice with school moms too, don't worry.
Don't we love it? You know what I mean? But it's fine. We, whatever makes Ari happy, we can do it. But otherwise, everything is good. Everything's good in the hood. Let us read some comments. Shannon back on her bullshit. The conjugal.
we love you, Shannon.
First up, Katie Junction. Yeah, she took this to Katie's sprints, and Katie agreed to sign the petition.
Okay, so, can I ask a question, Shannon? And you can answer this in a little bit after you've done your research. Where did you come up with the name Conchella Diva? Whatever the last name is, Divarento.
This comment. What is this about? Did I miss something while I was?
Yeah. Yesterday,
This is my new name. My new name is Conchella Divertino.
Divertino?
Divertino, whatever the hell. Yep. That's my new name.
Hey, Tino. We'll just shorten it right down.
Say that I love Shannon because I do. Jean is still watching Roadhouse. Every time I pause it to check something, it starts over from the beginning. It seems to be my lucky day.
Jean, does Jake Gyllenhaal get naked? Because I ain't watching.
Please do tell, because like I can't eat. It might be my new screensaver.
Hello, Chris.
Hey, Chris.
Hello, Sadia. Chris wants to know if Shannon will also be renaming Coda and Nicole. Hello, Jess. Hello,
Chris. We were talking about you today. Coda and I were having a conversation about how you encourage Shannon all the time.
This is true.
You started out so quiet, and then slowly but surely the level of egging Shannon on has increased, and now you're just flat out.
Katie will be in the comments tonight because she actually has to read. That's fair, Katie. That's fair.
Well, what way to just tell us you're muted us?
Shannon loves you.
That was a bit rude, Katie.
Shannon loves us all. We love you. It says thank you to Katie for supporting the Conchella Divertino movement. It's sweeping the nation. Miss Divertino plans to outlaw the word moist in sentences. This is true. And it says sexy men play hockey. Also
quietly.
True.
Quietly.
Yes. Please. Well, playing the hockey can be loud because they
you're allowed to grunt while playing hockey.
I mean, they do tend to like brawl in hockey. You know what I mean?
But yeah, I do. I must admit, when they show the highlights of the anger that the guys show towards each other and slamming, I'm like, you get in there.
Now, I will say, if any of the sexy hockey players want to have sexy time, then you're gonna have to be quiet. Grunts and moans are allowed. Anything else, no.
And any sounds like
Absolutely not. Absolutely no.
Driving.
Just trying to get your attention.
I'm gonna be like, I'm sorry, did you just backfire? Like, what's going on? Hello, Jamie. Close to
if he's over 30, you don't even have to ask. He backfired.
Truly. Jamie's finishing her first Peace Talks weekend book for Realmathon. Wonderful. This was answered by Katie. Thank you, Katie. But for anyone who doesn't know, we're earning extra points this weekend from now until Sunday. And every book that you read is an extra 10 points on top of whatever points it would get. Anyway. Hello, Rachel. Everyone's saying hello in the comments. Hard to keep track of how all the things are going on. Yeah, truly. Hello to Nicole and Coda. Hello, Chrissy. Everyone's saying hello in the comments. I'm thinking Coda would be Barris St. Pierre and Nicole would be Anastasia.
Yeah.
Macklethorne.
Macklethorne. I love it.
I'm down with Anastasia. I like Anastasia. But Macklethorne?
I have to be Barris St. Pierre. I just think it's really awesome that Shannon put Saint in my name. Look at Nimbus. Nimbus is like, no.
That way.
Not a saint.
Yeah. Saint, you ain't. But Macklethorne, where the hell did you get Macklethorne from? But here's the funny thing, Shannon. Today I was walking through the supermarket and I was listening to River East, River West, and towards the end of the book they were talking about someone in China named Conchella. And I started laughing and everybody started looking. Because, like, when I say I started laughing, I made the sound of like, and then just cracked up laughing. And everybody just looked at me. And I live in a small country town. So now that they will go home and talk about me and say how crazy I am. But I did tap at my ear. So hopefully that will stop the talk. Highly unlikely. But anyway. So yeah, so I'm going to, every time I hear Conchella now, I'm going to laugh.
Me too. Rachel came for the company and the vibes. That's really all this is. It's just a vibe chat. Katie would like to know her name. Apparently her name is Desiree Tinsforth. Now I feel like we should all have I think we should all get shirts with our names on them. For Unhinged
Never star them all. So we don't lose them.
Okay, here we go. So this one and this.
Are you writing this stuff down, Shannon?
Mine's Conchella,
not Coachella.
Shannon, just send us t-shirts with the coffee.
Yeah.
There was Conor McGregor was naked apparently at the beginning.
Sorry, guys. I need to watch.
Different enough that other than the name, I think they could have named this something totally different, and you'd never know. Wow.
I don't even know who Conor Gregory is.
That's what I'm.
Jess said that she watched the original Roadhouse a couple of days ago, and then the new one last night. And the original one is definitely better. The new one was entertaining, though. No Jake nudity.
Oh, thanks, Jess. Now I don't need to watch it.
Yeah, I don't need to watch it either.
You have to pull it up over your head.
Damn. What a letdown. Screw you, Prime. Gosh, always having to cast somebody famous. We're okay with a nobody as long as there's.
Hello, Jamie. Hello, Paul. Everyone saying hello in the comments. Katie did not mute us. She can multitask. She said, "I can."
You are not getting any reading done. You most will just come on screen.
Seriously. Don't you love us?
Stepped away to fix a mug of tea and came back to, "You're gonna have to be quiet. Grunts and moans are allowed." Oh, we're talking about hockey.
You're talking about hockey.
I suppose if you do jump into this conversation at the wrong spot, it may not make sense.
Katie
Put
thinks
it in the net
Cody's name is a
quietly.
vibe.
Honestly, Coda, what? Oh,
What?
I like that. I mean, yeah. We.
This is
We're
Rachel.
getting new names. Cool. Dibs on Long P. Enos. Rachel.
All yours, Rachel.
Jess said that she
Your
was
new book is
extremely-
by Long P. Enos.
Jess said she was extremely disappointed. Jake is shirtless a few times, and that was super hot, but otherwise no nakedness.
You know, he makes me.
Does he ever do nakedness? I don't think he does he? I don't think anything he's ever been.
I doubt it.
There's the first time for everything. Excuse me. That would have been my first question. If my agent came to me and was like, "Do you want to be in the Roadhouse?"
I mean, you would
I
think.
would have been like, "Am I naked?" That's what makes Roadhouse famous. Hello.
It's Adam's birthday tomorrow, so they have to be up early to travel. Otherwise, Katie would absolutely be on screen. Happy birthday, Adam!
Yeah,
Happy
happy
birthday.
birthday.
Sometimes even I am shocked by what comes out of my mouth.
Don't be. It's fine.
We love it.
We're having a good time. Jamie may mute occasionally tonight, but with how often my internet blinks out, I may not have to. That's fair.
Shannon never changed, you know.
I believe Conor McGregor was a world champion boxer. The man is built and still has all the muscles. Okay.
And none of the package.
But
who is
how
this
naked
man? I'm about
was
to look
he?
this man up. Like, who is this? Conor McGregor.
He has all the muscles and none of the package. I betcha. Any money.
Oh no. There's nothing worse than when you get a big,
He's not.
big,
Okay,
big
I know.
box
Okay.
and it's full
So
of
I know
package
who he
and
is.
your package is
So when I type him in, I know who he is. He's a UFC fighter, but like he's not really that attractive. So like I don't really care.
What's his name
No,
again?
his head's been beat up a bit.
Can you just share it on a just bring his
Yeah,
picture
hold
up?
on.
Work.
Rachel says their work here is done.
Yeah, I've already finished my coffee. So
Yeah, I have a double mug.
me too, but I only singled it. Yours, I don't think yours is bigger than mine. Is yours bigger than mine? Hold yours up.
Hang on. I'll just whip it out. Yeah, no, he's not attractive.
He's not that attractive.
He's got butterface. You know,
He's
butterface
not
is
like he's not very attractive. Like I'm sorry, but no, thank you.
butterface.
According
If we can just cover his head, maybe.
so according to the
Excuse
new
me, could you put
database,
the paper sack on before you come over?
so apparently Jake Gyllenhaal was nude in Love and Other Drugs in 2010.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't remember him
Because
being
I just don't ever remember seeing him do any nude database. You say?
Shannon, and do you have a subscription? Because I've always like thought I'm not gonna get a subscription, but should I?
um, no, because I might have to drive later, so I can't make mine Irish.
Yeah, and I'm
Although
anti-Irishing right now because I Irished earlier with mine.
I'll be Irishing later, but there'll be no coffee.
I almost didn't make it, you guys, to Chatty. My ass was. This was me watching Jake Gyllenhaal.
Connor's acting wasn't great, but this was his first movie. He's a fighter trying to be an actor. Yeah, he's a UFC fighter. He's just not really.
So he's just being a Mickey Rourke.
That's bad casting. Like, it's not his fault that they cast him in a role he couldn't act in.
No, most fighters can't act. I'm sorry. They should just stick to what they're good at, beating the shit out of other men.
In my opinion,
John
honestly,
Cena's hilarious.
John Cena is funny, but he's not a good actor.
He's a good comedic actor.
In my opinion, the only
because he's so shit
actor who's also a wrestler, like that's actually a decent actor, is The Rock.
The Rock doesn't have to be a good actor either, though. Like,
but
I didn't know he could act. I only ever just watched him walk across the screen, and then he says some things.
Like,
but I'm not really sure what he says because he's just there looking pretty.
Because I think the first movie that The Rock was in was The Pacifier, which is a dog movie.
No,
and he actually did really well on that. And then he did The Tooth Fairy. After that,
Pacifier's Vin Diesel.
Yeah, Vin Diesel's Pacifier.
Okay, well then, The Rock is
the Tooth Fairy.
The Tooth Fairy.
Yeah, that wasn't his first movie. Have you seen Be Cool? It's like this unofficial sequel to Get Shorty.
No.
You need to watch Be Cool because The Rock is in that.
I think I've actually said that.
But he
fucking hilarious.
But The Rock was also good in the Fast and the Furious movies that he was in, which a lot of people were skeptical about because of the fact that they had actually good actors in those movies. Even the ones that they brought in, like, I'm trying to think who else is in that. Like, obviously we have like the main like core actors, but I'm talking about like people that they like added into like later movies, like Tyrese and what is his name? Jason Statham.
I'm down, Carter. Get a spontaneous combust over there.
Here's the thing. People, okay, I don't tell people about my celebrity man crushes because I get made fun of. Because I feel like I have weird celebrity man crushes. Like, they're all men that are like old enough to be my father. Okay, so like my celebrity man crushes are like Eminem. Okay.
Is he that old?
He's the same age as my dad.
Yeah, so he's 50. He's in his 50s.
He's 50.
I think.
I'm not 50.
I thought he was 53, but okay.
Or 53, something like that.
Yeah,
I don't know. His fucking birthday is in October. Okay, I do know that. So Eminem. Okay. Jason Statham. I'm just saying.
Point the other way. Because you're pointing to no one over that way.
You point at me.
That's better.
It's opposite. It fucking confuses me. I'll know I'm blonde.
Vin Diesel, like, I feel like a lot of people find Vin Diesel attractive. I would like. Should I have found Vin Diesel attractive when I was like 12? I feel like no. Like, I've thought that Vin Diesel was hot my entire life.
I'm not huge on like big, huge muscles. Like, I'm not opposed.
I'm not either.
But I'm not like either.
I mean, I'm not. Here's the thing. I agree with you But there's something about Vin Diesel that like the muscles like do it for me. Like
But Vin Diesel's not huge. Like he's not bulked. He's actually well proportioned.
yeah, he's pretty well
He's
proportioned.
muscly, but he's well proportioned.
He's like his arms are are big. Like he's got big arms, but
you can still wrap your legs around his middle. He's not like he doesn't have.
Yeah, he doesn't look like a
two
bodybuilder.
tree trunks for thighs.
Right.
I mean, I could wrap my legs around his middle.
Also, Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman is the one that I like get made fun of for because he's like, whatever, I don't care. But I just feel like I think that Hugh Jackman is a super attractive dude. Like if Hugh Jackman came knocking on my door
like that naturally.
Come in.
I would be
bedroom's
like,
this way.
hello. What are you here for?
Why are you asking that question?
Because I need to know, like, is he whining and dining me first, or are we just going straight to the bedroom? Or are we going to the bedroom and then we're whining and dining?
Why do you need to know ahead of time? Why can't you just be surprised?
Because I'm autistic and that's what I need to know.
Ungrateful.
Wow. The claws have come out. There is no talking. If Hugh Jackman turns up on your doorstep, there is no talking. That's just come with me. Don't even have to say that. Just hold his hand and lead him to the bedroom. And shh.
And then what if he's like, I didn't come here for this? I'd be like, shh. Just lay down.
Why are you talking? I'm not going to shave you. You're fine.
The fighting scenes were realistic because Conor McGregor gave tips on how to fight. Well, I mean, that's good, I guess. That's a plus, sure. Wasn't the first movie The Rock was in something like The Scorpion King? Probably.
Yeah, it was.
I think it was. I think that was maybe one of his first movies. I have seen The Scorpion King. Thank you.
It was, and that wasn't horrible as bad as it was.
Yes, he did have nude / sex scenes in Ballers. I've seen that movie.
So is this database Google? Or do you actually have a database?
Shannon, are we on Instagram together? Can you send me links daily?
Daily.
Did Vin Diesel and Dwayne Johnson get into a fight because Vin Diesel was being good? I don't know. Listen, I don't watch.
Vin Diesel is a bit of a douche.
He can be a douche.
According to E and all the gossip magazines, he's a bit of a
I guarantee you The Rock isn't like the sweetest person in the world.
Right, but here's the thing. I don't need either of them to be sweet in order for them to shut up and give me what I want. So
that's right. But you're whining and talking and get naked.
Here's the thing. Okay, so when I was younger, like
what whining and talking, just get naked.
So here's the thing.
That shit.
Not that hard.
When the very first Fast and Furious movie came out, when the very first one came out, right? First of all, I idolized Michelle Rodriguez. Like, I don't know what about Letty, like, I just like idolized her, right? And like there's that scene, if you've never seen Fast and Furious, go watch it. But there's that scene where Dom, which is Vin Diesel's character, is like talking to these girls, right? And he's like clearly like just like soaking in all the attention, and like these girls are like, hey, like twirling their hair and shit. And like Letty walks up and she says, I smell skanks.
Nice.
In high school, I said that to somebody and they threatened to kick my ass. I mean, they didn't, but like I did that. Like I was like, I smell skanks, and they like looked at me and like they were like, "You want to go or whatever?" And I was like, "No, not really."
Listen here, you skanky little motherfucker.
I love Michelle Rodriguez.
That's come out of my mouth several times.
In the same way that a man is hot.
Michelle Rodriguez, absolutely. I'm sorry, if Michelle Rodriguez turned up on my doorstep, listen, I'm really against calling people mommy, okay? But Michelle Rodriguez would be the exception.
That's good, and Neva just answers the door like, yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. What can I do for you? What do you need from me?
It's funny, the exception to the rule. Okay.
That's
There's
the
always an
exception
exception to the rule. There's always an exception
Michelle
to the rule.
Rodriguez. If anyone ever hears me call any other woman mommy, they're gonna need to be like, ma'am, absolutely not.
You're
What are you
cheating.
doing? But Michelle Rodriguez, I would call her anything she wanted, to be honest. Like Shannon does not know if she likes muscles. She says, I tend to go for soy men. I mean, that's okay, I guess.
Evidently, Coda and I are both, huh?
I think she means,
immediately
like,
I was like, men with boobs?
I think she means like soft.
Yeah. But
Instead of muscly. But that's I've never heard it said that way, but
yeah.
Neva thirst for Harry
I'm not
Aussies.
gonna tell you what I thought.
Listen, I love a man with an accent, okay? I'm not gonna lie to you. Like it's a weakness. But here's the thing. I'm not really that picky with the accents, right? Because people have said to me, like, because Eminem, he has an accent, right? He does. But like it's right. But like I don't feel like most people would be like, yeah, Eminem's accent is sexy, but like I think that it is. So it is what it is. Okay, I'm fucking
I was just thinking, what, rapper? Is that an accent now?
I was thinking
He has
whiner,
an
right?
accent.
Because
He's
he's like,
like,
yeah. Sorry.
But here's the thing. Hugh Jackman could just I wouldn't even necessarily need to have sex with Hugh Jackman if he didn't want to. But I would ask him to sing the entire Les Miserables. The entire Les Mis soundtrack.
Okay, we have
He's
definitely got different ideas of what hot is.
He's definitely
what
gonna
should be
want to
happening.
sleep with you after
I mean,
that.
I also would want to have sex with
definitely
Hugh
gonna get
Jackman.
done singing about misery and be like, you ready to do it?
Because here's the thing. So
Come on, baby.
Les Mis was the first movie that I saw with Hugh Jackman in it where he was singing. I don't know if there are other movies that exist, but Les Mis was the first one I saw where he like was singing in the movie. Like I'd seen him act before, like Wolverine, like you know what I mean. But I'd never heard him sing before, and I was like, the voice of an angel.
Can you just hear the Voxer message from Neva the day she meets fucking Hugh Jackman? And she's like, I'm about to get laid, Miz.
And then he was in The Greatest Showman, which like I love that movie. Okay. And he was like great in that. Listen, I don't care. Leave me.
I love
leave
Australia. Have you seen Australia?
No.
With Nicole Kidman.
Uh-huh.
That's good, that.
Okay, I'm gonna have to watch.
It's actually really good. You'll enjoy it. He doesn't
Really
sing, but it's a good show.
It's just beautiful. Like
Yeah,
the whole movie is just
it's
beautiful.
who was the director of that? Wasn't it the dude that
Boss.
done? Yeah.
Yeah, it's possible.
Okay, I will.
He
I'll
did
look
Moulin
into it.
Rouge and
Yeah.
Oh, I love.
So it's
Moulin
very, very
right.
well done.
Rouge. I love.
No,
Moulin
you
Rouge.
would like Australia. It's good.
Anyway, we're not gonna do that. That's not this kind of show.
I'm not gonna sing. It's okay. I won't deafen you.
What if Hugh Jackman turns to me and says it's time? Okay, I'm just gonna ask Hugh Jackman to be quiet. I'm just gonna be like,
Well, this is like he's not gonna get thrown out for this, and you're not gonna leave. You're just gonna tell.
no.
Shush.
I'm just gonna say, do
Stop
me a
talking.
favor and just no more talking. That's it.
Mm.
But like, I'm not gonna throw him out of bed for that. He's Hugh freaking Jackman. Are you kidding
Yeah.
me?
First of all,
Like,
she's
even-
not going
like,
to tell him no more
Eminem-
talking. She's going to be
Eminem
like,
could also say something like this, and I would be like, "It was really great to hear your voice while it lasted, but now I'm gonna need you to be quiet. Thanks so much."
Neva's going to be like, you're supposed to be singing Les Miserables.
Shut up and die.
Why are you not singing One Day More? No. Shut up and drive. I mean, I'm not saying this, Shannon. I do not care who it is. It could be Michelle Rodriguez. I
don't even know who on the face of the planet would say this. Shannon, what are you
My
doing?
ex. You know who would say it? My ex. Not an ex that you know. Not an
Okay.
ex.
Okay. Oh my god. If someone said that to me, I'd be like, get the fuck out of my room.
Absolutely.
Take your sorry ass out of my room. Or as Mia says, get out of my room.
Conor McGregor's psychotic smile in the movie was a bit weird. I wouldn't call it bad acting. It seems to be a choice. I mean, I don't know. I'm not really a Conor McGregor fan, so listen. Here's what y'all need to understand about me. So here's the thing about me that I need everyone to understand. So okay, so growing up like in high school and stuff, so my mom and my dad both went to the college in our town, like the town that we live in, and they were both in like theater and musical theater and all that. Okay, so also my high school, the first high school choir teacher that I had was like obsessed with musicals, like to the point that there was always one show a year where he would have us perform some kind of like medley from a musical. So my freshman year, it was Phantom of the Opera. So for like the whole year, I was obsessed with Phantom of the Opera. Like to this day, if someone turns on the Phantom of the Opera soundtrack, I will sing every single song and also hit the high notes, which we're not going to do live because absolutely not. But I would do it. You know what I'm saying? So when I was a senior in high school, I think I was a senior in high school, I was like obsessed with Les Mis, and I'm not really sure. I mean, other than that Hugh Jackman was in it, but like the actual music of Les Mis is what I was like obsessed with. You know, I mean, it's depressing.
Les Mis came out so far after I got out of high school.
Like, well,
we're not even going to talk. Like, I got 14 years on you, so we're not even going to talk when it came out for me.
I'm pretty sure I was.
I'm going to see what year this movie actually came out before I be talking out my ass.
Or later when Moulin Rouge came
out. So I guess Les Mis actually came out in 2012. Which I would have technically should have been graduated in 2010. So I guess it came out.
Well, I was 42 years old.
So I guess it came out like right after I was in high school, but I was like obsessed with Les Mis. Like one day more, like all that, you know what I mean? It's a depressing ass musical. I'm not gonna lie about that.
It's like called The Miserables.
Well, that's true, but like it's depressing as hell. I probably shouldn't have enjoyed it as much as I did. But also like Rent, I was obsessed with Rent in high school, like, which I know a lot of people like Rent, but like Rent is not the happiest of musicals. Okay.
It is though. It's like it's about being happy with what you got, even if it's.
That's true. That's true. Being grateful. Coda, have you ever admitted your turn-ons?
Admitted them?
Yeah. It said Shannon said, has Coda ever admitted his turn-ons? Does he make them known to his gentleman callers? What?
Okay, so I don't have gentleman callers in like years, like over 10 years. And I don't have a lot of turn-ons, to be honest with you. Like I'm 40 now, so I have turn-offs now. You know what I mean?
Don't we all?
Like it doesn't really matter what you do to turn me on, just don't turn me off. And there's a few things you can do to turn me off instantly. If you come out of the blue doing the helicopter in my face when I'm reading a book, it's probably not going to happen. That's one turn off.
I mean, that's fair.
If you're talking too much.
Where do the panelists stand on armpits? I mean,
I will lick your armpit. I don't care. I mean, if you want me to, whatever. I'm not asking. I mean,
honestly, same. Like armpits don't really. I need some deodorant, but armpits don't really. Armpits don't really bother me, to be honest. Like, it's not a body part that like skeezes me out.
Everybody's got an armpit,
right? Like if I mean, I guess I've never been asked to lick someone's armpit, but if they were like, "Hey, man, lick my armpit," I'd be like, "All right, cool." It is what
I
it
mean,
is.
it's not the weirdest thing I've licked. Like I've licked
Truly.
eyeballs,
I've licked eyeballs.
inside of your nose.
I licked it. I licked like somebody's ear once, like in here.
Yeah, that doesn't taste very good. I've done that too.
Good at all.
That's why we do wet willies like this now.
But I've definitely licked somebody's eyeball before. I've definitely licked like you said, like the inside of somebody's nose. Like it's not like the weirdest thing I've ever licked. It's an armpit. Like I feel like it's one of the cleaner places theoretically that you could lick. You know what I mean? I mean, your tongue might taste like fucking deodorant, but oh well.
I'd rather lick your armpit than your foot, to be honestly.
Absolutely. You have to make sure they don't have deodorant on because you don't want a mouthful of Old Spice or Axe.
Yeah,
I mean,
that doesn't taste good either.
yeah, that's true. But like,
And if it's like the white deodorant, then it's got that
the chalky
effect to it
like
too.
if someone said like this isn't like a turn on for me, but like there are people that like have turn ons, like their erogenous zones are in different spots of their body, right? So like if somebody was like, "Hey, if you lick my armpit, it turns me on," like I would do it if you wanted me to, but like it's an armpit. It doesn't really bother me personally. But I'm definitely licking an armpit before I start like sucking your toes or something.
Yeah. That's a good way to get athlete's foot in your mouth.
Gross. Oh.
Is that a thing? Because that doesn't sound fun.
Could you imagine? I'm now questioning all my life choices that brought me to this moment. Where did it all go wrong?
Welcome to Chatty Bits with Neva.
Welcome. If you've never been here before and you're not subscribed, you might as well subscribe now because we're a ball of laughs.
You want to come say hi?
Over here.
Come here. God, you're so mean. Look at how stuck up. I can't point my finger in the right way. Nimbus.
Okay. I'm just resituating. Sorry. Hello. Okay. Let us continue. I just encountered a lot of men who had mommy fetishes. Total turn off being called mommy while naked. Listen, I'm really not trying to be called. First of all, my kid doesn't even really call me mommy that much. Like she usually calls me like mom or mother, which is like my least favorite thing. Like, please don't call me that. But
somebody called me mommy, I'd be like, you're drunker than me.
Here's the thing. We've talked about this before. There's 2 men in my life, ever in life, that I've referred to as daddy, which is fine. But because I do that, if you call me mommy, we're gonna have a fucking problem because that means that I'm in charge of you and I don't want to be in charge. I don't want to be the adultier adult. Okay. I am the submissive personality for a fucking reason. Do not try to put dominance on me. No, thank you. No, thanks. No. I don't want it. Okay? I don't want it. I don't want it. Was Coda ever called daddy during sex events?
Shannon, I told you my first girlfriend said "I Poppy," and I told her that she was white and not to say that anymore.
Wow.
But that was the only time. No one's ever. No. Yeah. No. Mm-mm. I'm not afraid to like put my hand over your mouth if you're using it too much.
Oh, I like Rachel, are you asking if I like to be called good girl? Because yes, I do. Yes, I do. Okay. I have a bookmark that says it. I think I have some stickers that say it too, honestly. But I do like Now here's the caveat to this. Okay, people can't just go around. I'm about to look through my stickers and see if I have a good girl sticker, because if I don't, I need to rectify that.
I
But
just realized none of this would work for me because I have an aversion to authority. So nobody is calling me a good boy in bed because I think I would be immediately turned off. I would be like,
so here's the thing.
You are not in charge. I would be
So
so pissed.
here's a little fun fact about me. I also have kind of an aversion to authority, but here's where it works for me. Is if it is because of the trust factor. Wow, these are like a really this is interesting. Anyway, sorry. Because of the trust factor that goes into like the BDSM lifestyle, I think that's the only reason. Because like I'm giving permission for that. Does that make sense? Like, as opposed to like a cop like stopping me and being like, "Hey, put your hands up!" Like I'm, like the instinct in me is to run. Like I never have run from a cop, but like that's like the instinct in me is to run, right? Oh, I do have a good girl sticker. This one I just bought. Yay! Anyway,
I need to buy more stickers. Why don't I buy stickers randomly?
I don't know, but I can send you a link if you want.
To just random stickers.
Well,
I need like kitties. I need like kitties and unicorns and gay shit.
I'll see what I can find you. I have Pedro Pascal.
Faces. You moved it too much. It didn't focus. Oh, Pedro Pascal. It's Pedro.
Pedro Pascal. I have this one too. I have this one too. Which is
he's so attractive. And it's not even that he's like boiling hot. He's just
Daddy is a state of mind. I love Pedro Pascal. And here's the thing. Everyone loves Pedro Pascal. You know how I know? Because Ari saw my Pedro Pascal sticker and she was like, "Can I have that?" And I was like, "No." And she was like, "I love that man." And I was like, "You don't even know who the hell Pedro Pascal is." And she was like, "I don't."
See, now you know how to dodge the marriage conversation. Even next time she brings up the marriage conversation, you just be like, I'm saving myself for this guy.
Yeah, so she was like, "I love him." And I was like, "Do you know who he is?" And she was like, "No." I was like, "That's Pedro Pascal." And she said, "Who's Pedro?" And I said, "This man that you want the picture of." And she was like, "I don't care what his name is. He's so handsome." Oh, get away from me. What? No, ma'am. Trying to steal my Pedro Pascal stickers.
Dude, do you watch The Mandalorian?
Yes.
Because isn't it weird how like even before we knew it was him, he was still sexy?
Right.
I'm like, can you just call me up and talk to me in your Mandalorian voice?
I have a pansexual kitty.
I need a pansexual kitty. Oh wait. You see how he doesn't even turn towards the camera? He's shy.
What is the difference between good girl, sweetie, and little lady? It's just about what you prefer to be called. Oh, I have this one too that says it's Pedro Pascal. It says baby girl on it.
Okay, send me the link. I'm gonna order Pedro Pascal stickers immediately.
Yeah, it's really just about what you want to be called, Shannon. There's not really a big difference. Sometimes there can. Oh, I forgot I have this one.
Wait till y'all finally get a fucking plant tour and there's just a Pedro Pascal face on every fucking plant.
I forgot I had this one. It says, "I see you shiver with anticipation." What was I saying before I rudely interrupted myself? There's between good girl, sweetie, and little lady. There's not. It's just about what you prefer to be called. So if that's what you prefer to be called, then that's what your D type calls you. Yeah. Oh, there's this one too.
Is that a leg?
Yeah, it's Pedro Pascal's leg.
I want that one.
What was I saying? Oh, so yeah.
I'm a Mandalorian fan. Do you want to see my favorite thing that I have that's Mandalorian related?
Yeah. Some D types, like especially if they're in a polyamorous relationship. I almost said pansexual relationship. What the fuck am I talking about? In a polyamorous relationship, they will have different pet names for each of their S types. This is just to differentiate. So, like for instance, in the last relationship that I was in, there I was referred to as like baby girl or little girl most of the time, and the other person, the other female person in our dynamic was referred to as honey most of the time. I did not like being called honey. I would literally be like, no. How cute. Oh, I have this one too. And it's shiny.
Do the Force.
How cute.
Do the Force.
He said,
And if you lay him down, he goes to sleep.
so cute. You snoring?
That's some creepy ass shit right there. Middle of the night and hearing that shit.
I'm talking about how cute. And Nicole's like, that's creepy.
I turn him
Creepy
on.
ass shit right there.
I don't keep him on all day.
But if you forgot to turn him off or something, like you just sleep, pitch black, and you hear that, it'd be like, holy crap, what is in my room?
He interacts, so you can like move your hand in front of his face like a Furby, and he'll respond and stuff. Yeah, this is like the best toy ever in the whole world.
Top 2 sex commands women make of men. What's your favorite position with me on top? And my legs are missing you in between them. Those could work for Coda as well, I imagine. Okay.
I don't. Actually, if somebody said the second one to me, I'd probably take them home.
That is not what I thought you were going to say.
I'd be like, okay. I totally understand.
Would Neva and Nicole like if their man said, I'm going to spank you hard like the naughty girl you are? This is listed as a popular saying men utter during sexy time. Shannon, you're really asking to know a lot about me. I don't know if I want to.
Like the encyclopedia of bad sexy stuff.
But
I think I honestly, I think that they are compiling a book.
Here's the thing. I don't know if I want to answer this.
We know about Neva.
I feel like I could be judged for my answer.
That's already happened. Like, I think that's already happened like about 4 or 5 weeks ago when we first started this.
This particular sentence or something similar to it has been said to me during sexy time, and it doesn't turn me off. It's not a thing.
My partner does not say that stuff at all.
Here's the thing.
I'm gonna spank you hard. No. And no.
Here's the thing. I've said this
he doesn't actually do any. He doesn't say any of that stuff.
Here's the thing. I said this like a week or so ago. I tend like for long-term partners, I tend to
Quiet
attract.
achiever.
Huh?
Kata and I are just being dicks, don't
I
worry while you're
tend-
talking.
I said this, I think either last week or the week before, but I tend to attract people like men that are on the same level of kink as I am. Because here's what happens. The few times that I have slept with men that are not on the same level of kink as I am, doesn't end up really working because I have to like then hide like part of who I am as a person. So
And
like,
then they also tend to get
Yeah.
into their head too much.
so the
What
sex is
happens,
whack.
Neva? Do you end up being the one who's talking too much?
No, that's the problem. Is that I just don't do anything. That's the problem. Because here's the thing, like I grew up in a pretty like sex positive environment, right? Where we were like, I mean, safely, of course, but we were like encouraged to figure out what it was. Like we could ask, like I could go, like even now, like if I had a question about something, I could like go to my dad and be like, not my biological dad, my dad that's upstairs. And I could be like, Dad, I have a question about this. And he would answer the question without making it like a weird thing. Like how some parents would be like, why would you ask me that? He would just be like, this is the answer. You're welcome. Go forth and figure out what
I grew up in a very like
you do.
positive environment as well. Like I
Yeah.
remember some of the conversations I had with my dad.
Yeah. I mean,
My
some
mum
of the
was
conversations
mortified.
that
My
I've had
dad
with
just
my
like didn't
parents,
care.
like some people would find to not like to be inappropriate, okay? But we grew up in very like sex positive kind of environment. So for me, like things like this I don't immediately be like, ew, that's weird. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And like,
Well, I've been with my husband for nearly 23 years, and he's never he's just not that way inclined.
I mean, some people just
that,
aren't.
so, and
But if somebody,
quite
I mean,
frankly, I don't want my ass spanked anyway because it fucking hurts the next day when it does happen. Fucking ew! I got sensitive tushy. I don't want it smacked.
I mean, truly,
I don't have
for
enough
me,
ass for you to spank. You're probably gonna hurt
for me,
Yourself.
on my tailbone.
like for me personally, that's part of the thrill. But like, not everyone likes pain like that either.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
I'm down
So-
for some pain, but you are gonna hurt yourself more than me if you try to spank my bony ass.
Oh well, I've personally never had this issue.
Yeah, I don't have a backside.
Well,
It's
that's
just
okay. If this was a thriller, Shannon would turn out to be some dude in his basement, and all Neva's responses would be screenshotted and pasted all over the walls. Probably. I think most men don't know what to say to their partners. They either say nothing or it becomes too demeaning. So I think that also you have to
Communication is the key.
you have to have like, and maybe this is coming from someone who again grew up in a sex positive environment, but like you have to talk to your partner, like especially if you plan on it being like a long-time partner, you have to talk to them about sex. Like you have to talk about like, even if you're not in some kind of like a BDSM dynamic where like you have safe words and all of this crap, like just having a conversation about like this is okay, but this is not okay. You know what I mean? Like just
why you should always have conversations like that. Especially
That's what
because
I'm saying.
if you don't, you'll never realize soon enough that if the other person isn't listening to you.
And also maybe, and again, this could just be because I grew up in a sex positive environment, but I personally, like, I won't have sex with somebody if we haven't discussed things first. Like, if we haven't discussed at least, like, the basics of things, like, what is being used for, like, protection, because I'm a woman, so I can get pregnant. But also STDs are a thing, you know what I mean, for everybody. So like there's that conversation, and then there's also a conversation of like what is okay and what is not. Because my level of okay, this has happened more than once. My level of okay tends to be higher than some people's. So like there's things that I'm okay with that like Coda might not be, right? So like, or things that I'm okay with it. Nicole might not be, where she is like, absolutely not. I'm not going to do that thing. But like, you're not going to know that unless you have a conversation. So it's very, it would be, this has never actually happened to me, but like, it would be embarrassing as a person who, for most of my adult life, has been in and out of the BDSM community. It would be really embarrassing for me if like if I never had a conversation with someone that I'm like, you know, getting down with, and then referred to that person for whatever reason. I wouldn't do this because I don't just go around throwing this out. But say that I just like in the heat of the moment called dude daddy, and he was like, absolutely not. Why would you do that? Because then he's uncomfortable. Like the other person is uncomfortable. And you didn't like, and I wouldn't have even know. Like, I don't know that would have made him uncomfortable because we didn't have a conversation. See? So just talk about.
So if you don't have a conversation beforehand, just be fucking quiet while you're having sex.
Yeah, if you're not gonna have a conversation, then just don't say it.
Just zip it.
And
Don't be silly. Wrap your willy and zip your mouth.
And the only thing you should be saying at that point is like, if they're like, are you satisfied? You should say yes or no. Otherwise, no conversation. Like, if you're not going to have a conversation beforehand, just don't do anything at all. Just lay there.
Just make a few sounds so they don't have to ask if you're satisfied. God, how awkward. Don't make me ask. Like, be with it.
Here's the thing about straight men, though. Straight men that don't have a lot of confidence will ask you regardless. I could have been making all of the noise in the world, and I have had straight men that have very little confidence look at me and be like, but did you get off? No, I just thought I would make noise for 15 minutes. Like, I just thought that was a fun thing to do. What the fuck is wrong with you?
You should just be like, nope. Nope.
Here's the thing.
Again.
That's the thing. If I don't get off, bro, like, you're gonna know because you're gonna ask, and I'm gonna look at you and be like, no, I didn't. Like,
and I'm gonna make you cry.
I'm glad that you got yours, but what a way to not make sure the woman gets hers first, fucking weirdo.
No talking till it's over. It's not over.
My girls never had to have honest discussions. Both daughters are in long-term relationships, which I'm happy about, as I don't know what they would encounter now in the dating world. I mean, I feel like it's also a thing of not making it like taboo. You know what I mean? I mean, obviously, like, be age appropriate about it, okay? But Ari is 6 and has definitely asked me how babies are made. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, that's like a very awkward conversation to have, but like, I didn't make it like a big deal. You know what I mean?
It was
just
really
like,
a big deal.
This is how it happens, and there you go. And then she was like, well, that's gross. And then we moved on.
That's generally the response from that age group. Ew.
Also, she'll sometimes ask, and then like when like the last time we talked about it, she asked me, and I told her, and she was like, I'm pretty sure that Jesus implanted me. And I was like, sure, go with that.
Yeah, this was
Neva's like, no worries, I can be Virgin Mary for a while, not a problem.
I just realized, is that a book? Chaos Gremlin #1?
No, that's me. That's just my title at this point.
That's Neva's title.
This is my title.
Shouldn't it say Coachella Divertino?
That's this part that should say that. Here. Hold on. I forgot how to spell it. Hold on.
Am I the only person on the internet that doesn't put she, her, or that after their name? Like,
so
I do it so that people don't fucking ask me.
True story. I never did until I started hanging out in the booktube community, and everybody was not sure. And so everybody says they, them when they're not sure.
Yeah.
And I just want people to be sure that I'm a dude. Big swinging dude.
I'm a chick.
But I'm a dude.
The thing is that we have enough trans community members in the booktube community that I think a lot of us do it so that there is not any confusion.
No, I'm not saying that it's a bad thing to do that,
No,
but I was
no.
I'm not
I
either.
just didn't
I was just-
people
yeah.
won't ask. Like
How-
generally people will say they them instead of being like, what's your pronoun?
Cal
right?
was one of the
Like,
first
save me the
people.
question.
Cal was one of the first people that I saw doing it because when I first joined BookTube, Cal was fairly gender fluid, I think. I think more recently he's been leaning toward he him pronouns. But when I first met them, his pronouns were, I think, she, he, or he, her, or something along those lines.
Contradictory in a sense. Is that what you're saying? Like there was
No,
one of
not contradictory. They are at the top at that point. Cal was identifying pretty as like gender fluid.
Mhm.
So to me, it's not contradictory. It just is.
I didn't mean it
But
like
the way that
right.
yeah, the way that he had his pronouns was so that you knew like he identified both with female and male pronouns without typing all of them out.
Right. So like he, her, or like she,
Right.
him.
Right.
Right. I've
Like,
seen that before
yes.
in somebody's
And
parentheses.
Brianna at one point, her pronouns in like on StreamYard were she, they, which is also a pretty gender fluid way of identifying as well. So me, I mean, you can call me she, you can call me her, you can call me they, them. I mean, I do not identify with male pronouns, like I never have. But I mean, I guess if you called me that, I would probably still answer you. You know what I mean? God knows. My mom used to call me by my brother's name, and I would be like, yeah, like it was my own name, so it's fine.
Yeah.
I think Americans do that thing where they can make jokes about sex, but they don't talk honestly about it. See, I'm like the opposite person. Like, if you start having a conversation with me about sex, like I'm gonna be honest about it, and I'm probably gonna freak you out, but it's fine. Is it like that in Australia, Nicole?
Well, in my little universe, we talk about, like, we've always talked about it. Like, yeah, I don't know. I can't speak for other people on that, but there's lots of jokes about it and stuff like that. So I'm guessing there's probably, I think that this would be like across all cultures. It wouldn't just be exclusive to one or another country. It'd be across all cultures where there's problems of talking about it because it's had such a taboo, you know, it's been put into that taboo topic.
Yeah, and that's why there's so many jokes, right? Because
Yeah,
funniest
it's
things,
a way.
it's taboo things.
Yeah, that's it. So, I mean, when you think about it, like this is where, like, this conversation, if we're talking about jokes and all that sort of stuff, it'll go in a completely different angle because it all stems back to the prudes of the world that tried to make it such a wrong thing to do. Yet, yeah.
No, it's true. It's.
What does this stand for?
I always forget what SMH
Shake my head.
I
just don't know why we're shaking our head.
I'm 40. Every time I see SMH, I'm like,
SMH is shaking my head.
I'm shaking my head.
Oh, dear me.
Well, I'm going to take a little potty break and get a third coffee because I'm a psychopath.
Oh, dear me.
Go on, go.
Nothing to say? Crickets. We got crickets going on. Are we going to take a 15-minute break so we can go and get drinks and stuff?
Sure, we can.
Cool.
Let me grab a timer. Please hold. I did not have this prepared. Wow. Okay. How do I go? Here we go. Alrighty. Alright, we're gonna go for 15 minutes and then we'll be back for more. Wait, hold on. There we go. So we're gonna go for 15 minutes. So we'll see y'all in 15 minutes. Go potty, get a drink, and then we'll be back.
Looks like we've lost Neva and Coda. They've just gone.
I'm here. I was filming something.
Where? Yeah.
Me just that.
How's your new camera working out?
It's going great.
I didn't change mine.
It's going great. Honestly, it's a lot simpler, like I'm gonna be honest, because I can, like, if I need my phone for something, like I can still use my phone while filming.
Yeah.
Also, I have found that I take a lot of notes on my phone, which then I reference from said phone while filming. Because otherwise I don't remember things. So there you go. So now you actually get vlogs where I introduce all the books at the beginning of the vlog instead of being like, yeah, I'm not gonna let you know what books I'm reading until I'm reading them. The reason that I always did that is because I could never remember what books I was supposed to be reading.
That's fair enough. When you read as much as we do, there's going to be some fuzzy moments. Yeah.
Shauna was talking about that in her sprints this morning, Shauna from Dreamcatcher. And she's like, I don't even remember the people's names in the book I just read. And I was like, wait till you're 40, dude.
Yeah, wait till you hit 50. It's even better. It's a fun game.
That was the best part. Is she got back on and she read the comment and she was like, well, I don't really think it could get any worse than it is. And I was just like,
I know, honestly, as bad as it sounds, I know mine can't get any worse. Like, unless I absolutely just don't remember absolutely anything at all, because I've had retention, like I've had like mental retention issues since I was like 15. So at this point, it's just part of life.
I think, like, for me, I can remember the storyline. Like, if someone asks me, I might not be able to remember the names of the characters, but I can generally know what the story is about, somewhat.
I remember pieces of the story. I don't remember details. Like, somebody can come and be like, you remember that part where da-da-da-da? And I'll be like,
no.
I swear.
Yeah, no, I don't.
But I always remember the feeling that I had while reading it. I always remember the feeling I had while reading it, whether it was boredom or I was really excited.
And I think for the most part, that's what people want to know. Is it boring, or am I going to keep turning the pages?
Yeah, I mean, I can always remember like the rating I gave it and like what about the book made me give it that. Like, for instance, like Ninth House, which I'm looking at right now. Ninth House, I couldn't really tell you like what that book was about, but I could tell you that I gave it 5 stars, and also this was before I was giving 6 stars. It probably would have been actually a 6-star book. And I can tell you that like the vibe was there, like I was having a good time. But I plan on actually rereading Ninth House before I read Hellbent, because I can't remember really anything.
I need to read those. Those are on my to buy list.
That was a mouthful of coffee, Buddy Read.
Buddy Read, sure.
Yeah, because I've got them on my shelf. Yep.
Okay, well, we'll all Buddy Read.
They're not on my shelf yet. God damn it. I'm not doing
it. You're starting to hold us back. Will you bloody hurry up and read your 100 books?
Because I have my special editions that I'm gonna hold up like in.
Savannah bought them. Are they the Barnes and Noble one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. She dropped a pretty penny on those to get them. I mean, and then she rubbed it in my face, the bitch.
I mean, they weren't a pretty penny for me, but I bought them in America, so.
Are they pretty?
They are pretty.
Yeah, hold on, I'll go grab them.
She said to me, I'm not allowed to touch them. I'm like, excuse me?
What?
That's what I said to her.
Did you touch them all over? You did, didn't you?
No, I haven't seen them yet. I haven't been to her place to see them. Because I actually don't think they've arrived yet. I think that they're still on their way. But she showed me the thing. She goes, and you can't touch it. And I'm like, well, then you can't touch anything here. And she's like,
so I got both of the books because it cost me They were $20 a piece. I think they're like $19 a piece.
They're paperback?
Yeah.
Oh.
So
Oh,
Barnes
she
and
got
Noble.
hardcovers.
So Barnes and Noble doesn't do hardcovers. For
Or maybe she didn't
editions.
get them from her. Hang on, I'll get her to send me.
If she got them from,
or
Barnes
maybe
and
they
Noble,
were. Maybe they were paperback.
didn't
I
get
just thought that they were hardback because of
because
the price she paid.
I know that the Second Divine Rivals book is a hardcover, but if they're actual special editions through them, they're not. So
Okay.
this is Ninth House.
Ooh, that is pretty.
And like the snake is like shiny on it.
I
And
hate
then
snakes.
this one
That's a pretty snake.
is for Hellbent.
Oh, that's pretty. And they match.
Mm-hmm.
So then
Like
when
the
they're on your
background on that one
shelf-
matches the snake. Oh, yeah. I need those.
Also, I may have told a certain person who I'm trying to be friends with to read Ninth House, and I think he's gonna hate it. But also, I'm glad that I told him to read it.
Just trying to find the picture that she sent me.
But yeah, so I did take the Barnes and Noble, like the removable sticker off that says like Barnes and Noble exclusive or whatever. But yeah, I had actually been they'd been sitting in my cart for a while because I was like, do I want to spend $20 on these? And then I was like, yes, I do. That was basically my thought process. But this is a fantasy novel, but it's also dark academia.
I have been wanting to read it since Hellbent came out, solely based on the original cover with the rabbit.
Mm-hmm. That's what I've got.
Yeah, these books take place at Yale.
Mm-hmm.
So it's set in like real world, but it is fantasy. So yeah, Nicole, if you want to do a buddy read, let me know because I do need to reread them.
Oh my gosh.
I do have the audios, but I think I'm going to do a physical reread instead of not physical, like with my eyes is what I mean. Because I don't feel like I retained as much doing Ninth House as an audiobook for my first read through. I think I should have waited and done it as a reread with the audio.
Yeah.
So I can read it before September. Under like, there's like two things. I could borrow it.
Yeah.
Right, in the library and read it. But if I'm gonna do that, I should read my NetGalley arcs first.
Well,
and I should read Feast of All Saints with Jean first because I told her she had to wait till September, so it'd be unfair.
I have both Ninth House and Hellbent, and isn't there a third one coming out?
I think so.
Is it a duology or a trilogy?
I don't know. Let me look.
I just looked up those special editions, and they're not that bad. Nicole,
yeah, they're $19.99.
Put your shipping address in our boxer so that I have it.
Okay.
Oh, Nicole. I was like, who?
Yeah.
You too, Neva. We'll just share addresses.
Oh, okay.
I went to go order something for Nicole off of Amazon the other day. I had to get a hold of her and tell her that I wasn't ordering her anything.
It gets me to set it up and then goes, bitch, I'm not getting you anything. You're too fucking expensive to buy for. He didn't say it like that.
It's like I got on the Australian Amazon and I was like,
this is not Amazon.
I was going to order you a copy of my book, which is self-published and should not be that expensive in Australia.
There will be.
That's what I mean. Like, it's just ridiculous. It's
like, don't I set the price for this? Let me go.
So there will be 3 main novels as well as a short story, but there are more expected to be in the future. So I don't know how long this series is actually going to be.
Yep.
We should wait till the third one comes out then, so we don't have to read.
Because I'm pretty sure the third one comes out this year.
It should be.
I'm about to look because if it comes out this year, it should be up for pre-order.
Yeah,
But
it would be.
it's still only showing books 1 and 2. So I'm not sure
Mm.
What's
when
the
it's actually
name
like
of the
there's
series? Does it have a series name?
it's the Alex Stern series, but if you just type in Ninth House, it will come up on Amazon. There are only 2 books on Amazon right now,
Right. Okay.
which are Ninth House and Hellbent. Also, I just have to say I like this
Goodreads
special.
says there's a book 3 untitled.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
untitled.
so Google
He
and
must
Goodreads
have
says
put it
that
on
there's
there.
that there is supposed to be a book 3 and a short story. However, you can't pre-order. There's no really like information on what it is. And usually if I pull it up on Amazon, if it's available to the public, it's available for pre-order. Because Amazon will give you pre-orders even without a final cover.
Is that what you were trying to say then, Coda? Lee Bardugo?
I was just trying to figure out if she was a she or a he. And then I figured it out. Yeah. I love that cover with the rabbit.
This is Lee Bardugo.
It makes me want to read that book so hard.
I will say I like these special edition covers better than the original covers,
though. I mean, it's pretty much the same. The second one's pretty much the same.
I like the color. I like
the color flip.
I like the coloring better, and then the Ninth House one is way better, in my opinion.
There's a purple one with the rabbit on the front.
I agree. I think I like the gray Hellbent better, to be honest. But I like the Ninth House one better in red. I'm all looking back and forth.
Puck, yes. I am going to read this.
Puck, yes.
Yeah,
look at the second.
It's the second.
Look at the purple one.
Puck.
Can you say it down?
Puck, yes, is the book that comes after Double Pucked. And I gave Double Pucked 6 stars, and it was a why choose, right? And then Puck, yes, is a marriage of convenience. So
that's convenient.
And then the next one is Thoroughly Pucked, which is a brother's best friend's romance.
All right. Still no pucked from behind by anybody.
No. And then
give it time. There'll be one.
And then the last one is up for pre-order. It's not released yet. It'll be released May 9th. And it's Well and Truly Pucked, a Friends to Lovers hockey romance. So
I hope these authors watch your streams so that at some point somebody will write Pucked from behind.
Because just send me all of your hockey romance, honestly. You know? Oh, I did not read these. Hold on. I am missing comments. Hold on. Oh, here we go. I don't even remember. Okay, thank you. If my mother talked to me about sex, not to be serious, but that time was so chaotic that we could have, and I just blocked it out. That's fair. You'll have to warn Brittany about the Conchella of it all. I'll make a fun comment on her stream, and then Conchella will be retired. She's gonna be like, who the fuck is Conchella? That's what she's gonna say. I grew up in a small family, so I can't remember names of characters when there are a lot of them. It's fair. It's usually all my memory somewhere, but I may need to jog my memory to recall specifics about a particular book. Here's the thing. I have so many damn siblings, I have to remember all their names. I'm not trying to remember every character in a book.
I remember the ones that piss me off. Caleb.
Matt.
Coda, you should post a list of books you own and need to read, maybe in the community section of your channel, so folks can buddy read them with you.
Okay, so as soon as I get the library clean, okay, so since it's after dark sprints, I'll show you guys the library. Oh, and
Coda,
then
I live too far away to drop into your house to help you clean your library. So if you want to FaceTime or like stream or whatever on our phones or Zoom or whatever, or talk through Facebook, I'm happy to do that if you need that for the motivation.
Like for a body double.
So it's quite a mess right now. I just moved a table out from right here. There used to be a big table there. You can see like there used to be shelves in that corner, but there are a lot of books in here.
I purchased 6 books today for $1.20. And
Wow.
it was 5 VC Andrews books and a random book that I picked up that Amy Tan had done a blurb on. That's the only reason I picked it up. Oh, I like that pentagram on your roof. Nice. Like it.
I've got a Wicca section too. Cool.
Oh, cool. So do I.
I don't know if you'll be able to see it.
Nice. I have 2 6 bookshelves with all my Wicca stuff on it.
I can't go the right way. There we go.
I've got that Starhawk one, the purple one on the end. Yeah, I've got that.
Awesome.
What else? Go back up and so I can see what else you got on your shelf. Have you got any Scott Cunningham up there?
I don't think so. It's just like your basics from when I was in high school.
Yeah, no, I don't have any of the other ones. But I've definitely got that Starhawk one.
So yes, so Jamie, when I get it cleaned, I'll do a library tour on video. And in my library, if I've read it, then it has a pink sticker on it. So
I was thinking about that today because I want to like I've just got shelves in my lounge room that I put them all on at the moment. But when I do because I've got to paint out my library and all the rest of it, my daughter's got until the Easter holidays, and if she doesn't come and help because she wants to help, she doesn't do it. I've waited long enough. I'm doing it. So yeah, like I'll just use my old shelves that I've got here. I won't be getting new shelves or anything. I might have to get a few extras, but I was going to go and get shelves from IKEA, but I can't do that right now. So I have to save up some money. And yeah, so I was thinking to myself today, I'm like, how the hell am I going to distinguish what I've read and all the rest of it? Because I'm getting older. My mind is going to start slipping. And I'm going, but I mean, that's probably a good thing because I can reread my library then. And then I'll be doing videos and people go, you've already read this. We've already heard about this book. Not in my mind, I haven't.
That's right, because we don't remember.
Yeah. I got rejected for this book.
Of Medea by Rosie Hewlett is so beautiful. It's a UK edition, but worth the money. First, read it as an art. Nicole, how would you compare the women's prize last year with this year?
This year is very family heavy. Last year was quite good because it was a little bit of everything sprinkled. So far I've read 6 books and I've had 1 5-star and I've had 2 4-stars. And and I've got 1 4.5-star and we have a 2-star already. So it's okay. Like I think they're very different lists. Last year was very, I don't know, there was just a little bit more variety last year, I guess. This year it's been very much the same sort of thing. Like I'm reading the same book essentially, with the same themes in it, just whether it's historical fiction or more literary fiction. And yeah, so But the standout right now is the Maiden. I will definitely say that should end up on the short list, and maybe even the one I read today, finished today, which was River East, River West. So, yeah. And if Hangman ends up on it, those judges need to be taken somewhere
And hang.
and just sat down and have a stern talking to. We'll just leave it at that because I'm not into putting threats on there. Maybe they should visit the Maiden.
Oh, we only threaten fictional characters now.
Yeah.
Jean, I have read Mile High. I enjoyed it. Brittany did not. So I'll say that.
And I've seen more people say that they don't like it.
I think Rainey and Kelsey both liked it as well, if I remember correctly. I mean, I thought that it was fine. It's a sports romance. So, because that whole series is sports, but it's different sports. I don't remember what Mile High might have been hockey. I don't know. I read it over a year ago at this point. So
just from the name, I would have just thought it was about people having sex on a plane.
I mean, they're on a plane.
I just assume it takes place in Denver.
It's a sports player. I can't remember which sport, but it's a sports player and a flight attendant is why.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you describe Double Pucked as a why choose? Yes. So a why choose. Actually, honestly, Double Pucked to me actually leans more toward polyamory representation than it does a true why choose, because I feel like a why choose usually there's like a conflict with the hinge character, usually a female, choosing between the two, which it doesn't happen in Double Pucked. So Double Pucked on Amazon is advertised as a roomies to lovers romance. So you could say that it's why choose. I would call it more of a polyamorous romance, just because it is two rival hockey players that are also best friends. So they're only rivals because they've been scouted to different teams. Our main female character, I think her name is Trina. She gets cheated on at the very beginning of the book by Jasper, which she calls him Jaspy like throughout the book, which is kind of she does it like when she's being an asshole to him. You know what I mean? So like she makes a comment to him and is like, do you need, because she steals, so she finds out he cheats because her dog eats the other woman's underwear. That's because it's like a theme throughout the book that her dog is like obsessed with eating underwear, which that is a thing that some dogs do. Like dirty underwear, like that's a thing that some dogs do. So that's like a plot point kind of this book. Like it adds comic relief, but anyway, so that's what happens. She takes the dog to the vet to have the underwear removed from, like, he chokes on it basically.
Oh yeah, right, yeah, okay.
And
I'm thinking, where is this going? Like
when the vet removes it, he's like, oh, this is a nice like thong or whatever, and she's like, I don't wear thongs, and that's how she figures out like he's cheating, right? Okay. So that happens. So when she moves her stuff out, she convinces him to leave so she can move her stuff out, and she steals his like these hockey tickets that he won. Now she doesn't like hockey. She doesn't give a crap about hockey. It was all like a revenge thing. Well, the two hockey players that she meets are these two best friends who are also like on rival teams. One, Riker, I believe, is a goalie, and I can't remember what the other guy's name is. Please hold. I remember Riker because he's the grumpy one. Chase is the other one. He's kind of more of like a cinnamon rolly. I will always remember the grump of a romance. You're welcome for that. Shows a lot about me. Anyway, so Riker, I believe, is a goalie, and I think Chase is a forward. And So she meets them because that's like the VIP experience, but she ends up like hooking up with them. And then Chase asks her or tells her that she can like stay with him for the week while she's waiting for her new apartment. And so it's just like a week of shenanigans. Okay. I would call it polyamorous because there are like agreements and rules and boundaries put into place, which you usually do not get with a Y choose. Usually a Y choose would be like if I'm dating two people, but they don't necessarily know about each other, and then I have to try to choose, and then I come to a conclusion that I can't choose. So I sit them both down and I'm like, I can't choose between the two of you, so I'm just going to be with both of you. To me, that's what a Y choose is. This is definitely more like polyamorous. Like they're like obviously they know about each other, they're best friends. They're all staying in the house together. They're all like doing sexy things all together. So yeah. But I was told by other people that this one was a Y choose when I picked it up. So I knew going into it that there were two hockey players and this girl. But when I read it, it felt more like polyamory than it did Y choose. Tired of the family dynamic themes in the women's prize list. Enough already, and I'm starting book 9 tonight. There are other topics that the judges are obsessed.
I guess.
Yes.
Also feels
It has been a ton of just family conflict and all the rest of it. But
Do you think it's because they like find a few favorites and they fall under this theme, and so they try to find
yeah,
other books in that theme to compare it with, or
that's hard to say because last year I read the whole long list. The year before I didn't. I just read the top 6, and they were all very different books. Like there was a bit of depression rep in there. But I don't know what. I didn't read the whole long list, so I can't say whether it had a full on theme. We had we had historical fiction in that one. We had a little bit of mental health. And I'm just trying to think back. I think there was a lot of mental health, but we even had some queer rep as well in that short list as well. So this one, this year's just seems to be really like it's just doom and gloom. Like, why would you want a family? Like, I'm only 6 books in, and I'm thinking, what the hell would you even want to have a family? Like, if this is the shit that you're going to have to go through, why would you bother? Like, because I'm telling you, anybody that doesn't have a family would be like, why would I even bother having children? Why would I
forget it? I'll just be alone.
Yeah, I'll just stay over here and I'll stay out of that bullshit. Because so far with like the books that I've read, the 6 books that I've read, we've had, although today's book, River East, River West, that was a reverse immigration, which was quite good, and that was looking at China. It was set in China, in Shanghai, and some other town that I can't pronounce, and I'm not even going to try because I don't speak Chinese. So yeah, and it was looking at Americans that were in China, and then it went from 1985 to 2007, and it followed 2 timelines. We were looking at Alva, who was biracial, so she was Chinese and American, and then we had Lu Feng, who was a Chinese. We met him as a young man who had just married, and it talked about the 1-child policy and the forced sterilizations a little bit. It didn't go into depth, but it went in a little bit. And it just all the different things of when China opened up their borders to foreigners and what that was about, and then the struggles that Alva had as a biracial child and growing up as a teenager, and the effects that it had on her. And then it also there was a lot of neglect in this one as well, but it was more it's hard to describe because you got the 2 timelines. It was like coming of age on one aspect, but then it was looking at the obsession of Lu Feng and wanting to get to America, wanting to learn how to drive, and was obsessed with him, and he ended up marrying an American woman and whatnot. So that's about the only one that, like, it still had its family drama, but it wasn't heavily seeped in, like, you know, this, that, or the other that we've had so far. And we've also had mental health rep with, but see that one also had suicide in it, young people drinking to excess, and or the River East, River West, the one I finished today. Hangman was just freaking weird, but again, it had family themes through it as well. What was the other one I read this week? Just trying to think what it was. Obviously, it was memorable because I put it out of my mind. And the 3 I read last week, they had the family themes in it as well. The best book I've read so far, which wasn't heavily steeped in family themes, which is The Maiden, because that was historical fiction, but it was based around sort of a love triangle, somewhat of a love triangle, and murder. So I was down for that. So yeah.
It also seems some booktubers went into this year's long list with an attitude. They were determined to be annoyed before even reading the books. We need more Nicoles who read to enjoy them.
I don't see a lot of people reading the long list this year. A few people have read a lot of books that are on the long list, but they've read it out through the year. They're not actually tackling it at one time. And yeah, I'd have to agree with this. It seems like everybody's going in with the attitude that it's a shit list after last year's because everybody was disappointed with last year's. But I mean, and like I even said in the vlog last week that The Maiden, everybody's going, oh, it's so commercialized and all the rest of it, but it's such a good book. Like yes, it's got a commercial looking cover, but it's really a good book. And I don't think that they should make a judgment on the cover. They should open the bloody thing up and read it. And they might be pleasantly surprised.
Shannon, I don't know what the hell a soy boy is, but a cinnamon roll man is like your softer, they're like a softer, I mean, they could still be dominant, but they're a cinnamon roll. They're just more like they're a softer personality type, as opposed to like your grumpy personality type who's like gruff and you know what I mean? He just like moans a lot, or well, not really moans, but like growls a lot. You know what I mean? The cinnamon roll is going to be like the opposite of that. Pucking around took this like to an extreme with baby Jake, as I like to call him, because baby Jake was definitely like a cinnamon roll, but he just cried a lot. Like I just feel like Jake whined so much. Like, and I understand like he balanced out like Daddy K and he balanced out Mars, because like Mars was like the extreme grump, and Daddy K was definitely like, or Daddy Cow was definitely like that in between. Like he could be soft, but he could also be kind of grumpy. You know what I mean? He was like that in between version. And then Jake was just a baby, honestly. Women's prize long list is the perfect advertisement for birth control and staying single.
I would agree with that. Very much. I agree. I concur.
Jamie finished her book.
It's just like, why? Why would you do this to yourself? Like, choices, people, choices.
Jamie finished her book, has to switch over laundry, and then pick her next book to read. Wonderful. Good night, Jean, leaving us on the TV. Thank you so much. I thought this year they had a topic they were sticking to for women's prize versus last year there wasn't necessarily an overall topic.
This year they had a topic they were sticking to. Last year they weren't necessarily. No, they don't get topics. It just seems to be this year that the theme that's running through, because even in the non-fiction, I mean, they possibly could have said, you know, like the theme that we're going for this year is family, because I haven't seen that anywhere, but it's possible that could have been a discussion because, and correct me if I'm wrong, Chris, I think that there was quite a number of books on the non-fiction list which came out a couple of weeks before in February that had family themes as well, and not great family themes. So,
do you think maybe it's not that they picked a bunch of family themed books, but maybe that was just what people wrote about last year?
well, there's that, because these books have all been released in the UK in the last 12 months, from the 1st of April to the 31st of March this year. So 1st of April last year. So it is possibly just what the writer community is writing about. So that may be, but I like, if like Hangman, like seriously, I would like to talk to the judges and go, what other crap was on the list for you to put this into the top 16? Like, what did you read to get this top 16? Like, surely there had to be, like, even just going back through family themed, like I went and had a look on one of the UK big bookstores. I can't think of what it's called. Is it Waterstones? I think it's Waterstones.
Probably.
Yeah. Yeah, I went and had a look at their new releases. That there were so many other books that would have been, just from the synopsis alone, would have been a lot better than Hangman. So, and it does depend on what the publishers actually submit to be in contention for it as well. So publishers need to step up their game, and because they've got a limited amount too. They can't just have all the books thrown at them. That each publisher and imprint only has a certain amount that they can put in. But also, in saying that, anybody that's won before gets an automatic entry. And anybody that's made it onto a long list or a short list also gets in an automatic entry. So that's why we've got Enright, who's been every 4 years has had a book on the list, but it's never got up for the win. And there's a lot of chitter chatter about like some of the books and everything, but you only have to look at past books. Commercial books end up on there because Circe's on there. Song of Achilles is on there. Piranesi is also on the list as well, in the top 6 for the last 28 years. We've also got Sarah Waters, who's quite a commercial author as well. We've got Margaret Atwood's on there with her books as well. We've got Maggie O'Farrell, who's been on there a few times. And yeah, so a lot of people, I think, are just going for the real negative sort of narrative with the books and all that sort of stuff. They're not actually taking a good long hard look at the books that have been on the previous list. So yeah.
Because she was saying good night. Some booktubers seem annoyed that they didn't predict a lot of the books on the list, so they took it as a personal insult. I like that the long list has obscure books.
Yeah. Well, I mean, really, those books that they've predicted in all those prediction videos, that's a wish list. That's not a prediction. Like, there's no way, because you don't know what books have been put in. Like, if we had the information of all the books, like we had a list, the entire list of the books that went on, like in contention, then you could do a prediction list. That's why I prefaced mine on my prediction list that really it's a wish list. And mine was romance heavy, and I knew that. Like, Chris helped me get one of them on there. I figured that the Wren would be on there because, as I said, Anna Enright has been nominated every time she's put a book in. Every 4 years she's been on the long list, but never got into the short list as far as I'm aware.
A lot of family themed books on the nonfiction lists.
Yeah, I thought as much.
Chris says, I'm with Nicole. I would love an explanation for how Hangman got on the list. I could come up with dozens of books that were better than Hangman.
Yeah. And see, Chris reads a lot of the stuff that ends up like throughout the year. Chris has read a lot of the stuff already. So it's like, why? Why did you do this to me? I take that as a personal insult, that book. Because it's all about me, right? Guess what? I'm breaking down.
What is that?
That's the second book of Green Rider came in, so I'm breaking it down into the sections that we're going to be reading.
Oh.
The second book of Green Rider. Did you notice?
Yeah,
I guess I didn't really pause for you to see any books while we were in the library, but
yeah.
Says, not to agitate Shannon, But this year it was the in thing, or last year it was the in thing to hate Pod without reading the book. Now it's hating the long list without reading it.
I love Pod. I don't know what
I can't wait to read this book, honestly.
I'm excited about it.
It's sitting on my Kindle just waiting to be cracked open. Obscure is good if the book is good. Some of the books that turn up on long lists are not obscure, just bad.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of the authors that are on there. I have no problem with any of their work. Like, so there's 8 debut authors on there.
Which that's great.
Yeah, so it's really good that there's 8 female authors on there. So they're, like at least half of them could have an opportunity to be good. And The Maiden is actually a debut novel. So,
did you finally see comic bits in Hangman like the judges indicated?
No. There were some I think what I was and I've said this in my vlog, which will be out hopefully tomorrow. I haven't edited it today. I've just been trying to clean the house today, and time got away from me. I just got very frustrated with the fact that I felt very disjointed while I was reading the book. I just didn't know where I was, because you never find out what country he's gone to. We don't even know his name. There are no character names in the book. It's great because you don't have to remember anything. But basically you get when you go into a situation, so we go into a chapter and he's in someone's house, and it's my son's mother's brother is how the person is described, instead of, it's Bill or Ted or whatever, right?
My son's mother's brother. Why did you say my son's uncle?
Yeah, I know, right? So we don't. This is how and it was like that with throughout the book. It was so frustrating that I just it just made me feel like I wasn't connected to the story. How you go into a book and it can be a little bit, not written that crash hot or whatever, but you still connect to the characters and all the rest of it. There was just no connection. I actually don't even really care, because basically I have no idea who the hell you are. I don't know who you are, what country you're in. I know that it's somewhere in Africa because that's in the synopsis, and I know you're a man because that's in the synopsis. But yeah, it was very frustrating for me. Nice. Mine are completely different. This is what mine look like. This is the second one.
Let me see what the cover is.
Very bland. Nice. See, I think my last one's going to be completely different to these. I was looking on Amazon today, and I'm like, why is the last cover black?
I didn't get the last 2 in print because they didn't have them in mass market, and I wanted them all to match. So I have them on Kindle so we can read them still. But
yeah.
But the other ones, I got all the original.
Nice.
I'm so excited. Another series.
And there's 8 books in this one, isn't there?
Yeah, I think including the new one, right? Let me look on Kindle. There's at least 2 more on my Kindle besides 5.
So we're reading. The second book's about 120 pages per sprint. Because I divided it by 6.
Cool.
Huh?
The words are huge.
Are they small or big? I can't tell.
They're big.
Yeah.
They're big.
Mine, I'm looking at mine. They're definitely bigger than Wheel of Time.
I mean, for perspective, here's Jonathan Strange's words. And they're much bigger.
Yeah.
So Did you split up Green Rider already?
What was that? Sorry.
Did you split the first one up already?
No, this one was just behind me. I just thought, oh, I'll start splitting it up because someone asked me in the Discord today, and I'm like, oh, I should start splitting those up.
So where are we reading to the first?
There's no chapter numbers in these. By the
What's
way,
the name of the chapter?
yeah, I'm getting to. Hang on.
I'll see how many pages it is in mine. Is there
100? I think it's 115. Yeah, 115 for me, and it's back to barracks.
Hangman was frustrating, and then she didn't stick the ending. It was a big so what to me.
Yeah, same.
Shannon said she loves the covers. I don't know whose covers. Probably Coda's.
Probably Coda's because mine are pretty generic.
Oh, the fuck! I just can't.
back to? Wait, am I in the right one? Writer's First Call.
Yeah.
Does yours have all cap titles and regular titles like that?
They're just all cap.
Oh, I found it. I flipped right to it just now. It's page 98 in mine.
Is it?
Yeah. So my copy is 596 pages.
Why did that not break down properly?
These names on this thing, yo. Here, I'll even change this. So
Ha ha ha. Your feet smell like stinky cheese.
here, I'll even do it like that. There you go.
Ha ha ha. Did you ever watch all that?
Yes, of course I watched all that. I mean,
Do you
now
want
I'm
to touch my rubber ducky?
now I'm rethinking my life choices after watching that documentary on ID Discovery, but
What documentary?
it's called The Dark Side, Quiet on Set. What it's called. The Dark Side of something. But it's all about like Nickelodeon and Nick Schneider and the nasty people that work with him. I will say this for anyone who's going to watch it that's like listening right now. If you're going to watch it, I need you to be very self-aware of how you're feeling while watching it. It took me a couple days to watch it. It's only like 4 episodes, I think. But it actually took me a couple days to watch it because I had to keep stopping. It's really uncomfortable to watch.
Books. I want that to be my theme song. Every time I get books in the mail, that's what I sing on the way back from the mailbox to the house.
Thank you for noticing, Rally.
Rally, what's up?
These are our new names that we were given by the love.
Hi, I'm Anastasia.
Shannon. I'm
What is it?
Conchella.
Macklethorne?
Unbelievable. Conchella. It's such a mouthful.
Conchella.
That's what he said. Yes. So, I feel like I should have like long nails or something.
Is mine pronounced berry?
Sure.
I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
That would work.
There's no S in French, is there? Isn't the S always silent?
I feel like that's what it would have to be.
If it's at the end of the word, then it's, I
'Cause
think.
that it wouldn't make sense for it to be Barris St. Pierre.
I think it's berry.
Barry, yeah, I think so.
Coda wants it to be Barry.
I feel like with a name like Conchella, I should be sipping champagne and also like have a bra on, which neither one of those things I'm doing. I'm just saying. Who likes a bra, really? Plus, I have to wear one all day, like most of the day.
Way
when I'm
too
like,
late for bras. Way too late.
Well, I have an orientation tomorrow, so I was like, today I'm not gonna wear a bra because I'm gonna have to wear one tomorrow.
Fair.
Plus, like it was cold out, so I was wearing like my big jacket, so you couldn't tell anyway because I had like a hoodie on with my big jacket over. So like when I went to go get Ari from the bus, like nobody could tell. You know, it's fine. Finally starting A Refiner's Fire by Donna Leon. I have to work in the morning, so I doubt I'll finish this one tonight. Wonderful. Would Coda join Nicole next year to do Women's Prize long list buddy read?
Oh, I don't know. Nicole reads them so fast. Maybe the short list. I don't read as fast as Nicole does.
Shannon asked me this, and I was like, first of all, I have no interest in reading these books. Second of all, because her question was because I watch all of Nicole's videos, and I was like, I enjoy watching Nicole read them, but I have no interest in reading them. Plus, like, I have to agree with Coda, like, Nicole reads them so quickly. Like,
because I make them a priority. I don't read anything else. That's why I haven't put out a TBR video, and I won't be putting one out for April either because I'll be still reading them.
But even still, that's
and I'd be on book
16 books. I don't read 16 books in 2 months, though. I don't.
No, well, actually, I do it in 5 weeks.
Hello. I'm on break at work, so figured I would stop in for a bit. Thank you so much for joining us. We like to see your face.
So I read 16 books in 5 weeks because and that works out to be about 3 books a week. And bearing in mind that not all books are like, they're not 600 pages or anything. They're around the 350 mark and less.
Yeah, it takes me like a month to read 8 to 10 books. So, and that's a lot for me. I used to read like 1 or 2 books a month. Now I'm like, what else can I read?
Listen, I've read so many books. I've read so many books this month. I need to brag on myself because we know that January and February were very rough for me reading wise.
Okay, let's give Neva the attention that she deserves for this because I agree. Make yourself large.
Here, I'll make myself big.
And you have the floor. Tell us.
Thank you. Thank you so much for coming. Anyway, so January and February were very hard months for me reading wise. Like I did not do well. Like I think I read 5 books in January and like 8 books in February, which if anyone reads less than that, please don't feel like discouraged. I just personally know that I read more. And so far, what is the date? We're on the 23rd of March.
Yep.
I've read 14 books this month.
Go you. That's more than what you had read when last time I said, go you. That is awesome.
I've read 14 books this month. Also, I've actually read them, unlike some people who have time to pretend like they read. And no one here, and no one that I personally know. But yeah, so 14 books this month, which puts me at a total of like 27 books. So I'm back ahead of my goal. So yeah, I really was worried for a minute, with all the moving and the depression and everything. I was like, wow, maybe reading is not for me anymore.
I think as a rule, we go through ups and downs with our reading. Like you can't, well, you can, but I mean, are you enjoying it? Like everybody thinks that I read every single day. I don't actually read every single day, but when I do read, I make it a priority. That's what I'm doing. So that's how, and I tend to like, it's rare that I will have 3 or 4 books on the go. Like like I've got the Count of Monte Cristo still sitting there, but if you go and have a look at my currently reading, Harry Potter is about the only one that is constant at the moment, is going while I'm reading other books. Generally, I read one book at a time, but when I read that book, I make it a priority, and that's how I get through so many books. And I generally can do a book every second day, and that if you average it out, that's what I'm reading.
I will say that I am back to doing one book per day because it was just over. Like that was the other thing was like
one book at a time or one book a day.
One book at a time.
Yeah.
Because at the beginning of the year, it was like stress and stuff, obviously. But like because of the stress, like I would pick a book up and I'd read a little bit of it and I'd be like, I'm bored. Then I'd pick another book up. So then I ended up with like, I don't know, I think it was like 8 currently reading books, which I got down during Word Nerdathon, right? Because we did that weekend where we were focusing on things. So I was like, let me get this down. So with which that vlog is coming soon. But with that plus Jan's readathon all in that same weekend, I was able to use the same TBR for both. So it let me read things down. And now, I'm back on my grind. Also for my 30 and 30, I'm at 7 books and we're on day 7. So like I'm on track.
That's good. I think sometimes when you have a ton of books on the go, it does get overwhelming, and you really do need to take a step back and just get you need to either DNF the books, a soft DNF, or you need to just knuckle down and read one at a time and get them off the list.
When we were reading Such Sharp Teeth, and that's why I was like, okay, I'm just going to read Such Sharp Teeth and finish it before I go back to all this other stuff I'm doing.
Yeah. So I will say that for me personally, this isn't for everybody, but for me personally, if I see them sitting on my story graph, it overwhelms me because I'm like, oh my God, I have all these books I have to read. So like right now, I only have 4 books on my story graph. I have Love at First Set, which is like an actual book I'm reading for a vlog. And then I have Harry Potter because that's what we're reading. And then I have Haunting Adeline because I have not decided if I'm going to DNF this book or not. So it's just sitting there, but I know that it's not a book that's like a priority right at this moment. And then I have Crown of Midnight because that is a buddy read. Once Kelsey finishes Stone of Glass, that will be a buddy read with Rainey and Kelsey. And I will just adjust my start date on that whenever we pick it up. But those are the only books that are on there. Everything else I've made it a priority, right? Because Love at First Set is an audiobook, so I'm really only listening to that if I'm diamond painting or doing chores or whatever. But like I know there's a bookmark in it, but I finished this today, which is the first volume of Fruits Basket. Like I read this all today.
Yeah.
So it hit Storygraph and then it promptly left Storygraph because I finished.
The only reason that I have a lot on my Goodreads at the moment is because I'm using it as I just go there and I know what books I've got to read this week because I'm reading so many, because I'm doing the NetGalley thing on the weekends. And I'm doing the Women's Prize during the week. So I put all the books that I'm planning on reading off NetGalley and also the Women's Prize for Fiction, and then I know what I've got to read. And I've got a little note saying this is what I've got to read. But I generally only put the book on there as I start it. And then I don't add anything else that I'm planning to read. I don't put my TBR on there or anything like that because it fucks you up. Because it becomes a chore then. And I'm enjoying my reading. Like I'm reading a lot. I'm talking about the books. I'm not driving my family crazy or anything like that. I get to talk about the books, and that's all I really care about.
So for the longest time, like I'd say like the last 6 months, I've had like a monthly hopefuls collection on my Kindle. And I'm contemplating doing away with it and just opening books wherever I'm going to open them because I really don't need like a currently reading folder like collection on my Kindle. I was doing that for a while. I've been doing it like I said, like 6 months. But I feel like it gets overwhelming because then I end up just filtering like 3 or 4 or 12 books into that, and then they all get started and never finished. And I think I need to go back to what I was doing earlier last year, which is I would be like, okay, well, I'm in the mood for a fantasy or a dark romance. So I would go to my Kindle Unlimited because that's where most of my dark romance is. And if I couldn't find anything that I wanted to read immediately in there, then I would go to my actual like owned dark romance collection. And find something that way. But then what would happen is that I would just have this open like this. So you would just see my collections.
Yeah.
And then from here would be the little graphic. This book is done, but it was the last book I read on my Kindle. But down here would be your little graphic of your book. So I could just, if I backed out and like instead of going to like my March hopefuls folder, I would just click the button so it would always be on the collections. And I think I'm going to do that right now. I'm just going to get rid of this March hopefuls. Delete collection.
Yeah, I mean, see, I could have very well done a TBR this month, and because I'm reading other books, I could have done a NetGalley TBR or something like that. I just chose not to, and I just had the predictions, and then went for the women's like, if anybody wants to know what I'm reading, just go and watch that Women's Prize for Fiction reaction video, because they're the books that I'm reading right up until a week before the 24th of April. So. And then, you know, like I gave myself some grace. I had 4 or 5 days between the end of I actually had 6 days from the end of February when I finished Battle of the Girl Bands to when the announcement happened, because it was 4:00 in the morning on the 6th. And so I just read a heap of NetGalley stuff. I didn't overstress myself or anything like that. And the same as if I finished these early. But I'm actually being a little bit kinder to myself this year. Last year, I just read them back to back and just talked about them when I got to 4. This time I've actually broken it down, and I'm just reading 3 a week. I start on Monday and I try to finish on Friday. I didn't this week because I got sort of sidetracked and whatnot. And then I can vlog about it and get it done. And I'm just vlogging as I go. And it's been so much easier and a lot less stressful.
Yeah, I do have my NetGalley arcs. I do have those in collections by month. Just so that I know when everything comes out. I mean, I'm fucking behind, but that way I know when everything comes out, so I know like what needs to be read. But I actually
only have 2 more 2023s on my NetGalley to get rid of, and that'll be this weekend, hopefully.
Thank you, Rally. Yes, we're getting back into our reading mojo. You know. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to take my Kindle with me on Monday for my little trip, or if that would be considered rude since I'm riding in the car with people that, like, I mean, I know them kind of, but like we don't know each other well.
Well, there's going to be awkward silences. I'd fill it with reading.
I think I'm just going to put it in.
Why not take it? What kind of decision is that? You take it, and then if you don't need it, you don't need it. But if you do, it's there.
Because I would rather read my Kindle than play on my phone.
Yeah.
So I think I'll just put it in my little purse that I take with me, which I do have a Kindle accessory coming to me, but I don't think it ships until April. It's a bag. You may have seen it on like Instagram. It's the Hello Cleo bag. I did go ahead and order one. I ordered a pin also because why not? But I ordered it, but it's like the first Kindle friendly bag that has like an actual dedicated Kindle pocket. Unfortunately, I don't own a Kindle Oasis, so unless I can get my hands on one of these refurbished ones that keeps finding its way onto Amazon, I won't be able to test out if it will fit a Kindle Oasis. But it's marketed to fit. It is a small business, but it's marketed to fit all of the Kindles. I think it might fit even the Kindle Fire because it's marketed to fit an iPad mini. But it's marketed to fit the Paperwhite, which I have, the Basic, of course, because that's smaller than this, and the Oasis, and an iPad Mini. So if I can get my hands on an iPad Mini or a Kindle Oasis anytime soon, I will test it to see. But I'm really excited because it's like it's got 3 compartments, and like one, I think two of the compartments are like purse compartments, so they have like card slots and like spots for your chapstick and all of that, and then there's the back pocket that's specifically for your Kindle. So like I'm excited for that. What's up, Nicole?
What's wrong?
Oh, I don't know. You left and then came back, so I didn't know if you were.
Yeah, I just went to get the little. This was Savannah's, and I don't know what it is because it's not charged. So
It looks like a Basic.
Mm.
Mine's a fire.
Because mine's the Paperwhite Signature Edition. No one needs this Kindle. I just need everyone to know, because people be messaging me on Instagram and asking me which Kindle model I have. You do not need this. I just need you to know this is like the bougie of the bougie when it comes to Kindle Paperwhite. Like, you can get the regular Kindle Paperwhite and it will literally do everything that this one does, except the wireless charging, which I don't even use, honestly, and the warm light. So my warm light will adjust on its own, but I'm going to be honest with you. I got it for that feature, and then I don't even use it. I do use the auto brightness on this, which I don't think these other, like the standard Paperwhite has, where like the brightness will auto adjust. I do use that. So I do like that feature. But you don't need this. This is 32 gigabytes. Okay. I don't even have this half full. Like,
when you go into a Kindle, can you find out what size it is and all the rest of it?
yeah, you're gonna go in, like, you'll here, I'll show you how, Nicole. So obviously this is on a book, but you're gonna swipe down from the top.
Oh yeah.
You're gonna get this. You'll hit the all settings.
Yep.
And then you'll go down to your account, I think.
So I can do it on the Kindle. I don't have to actually go into.
Yeah, I'm just
Amazon
trying to figure out
itself.
where. Device maybe. Yeah, if you go into device, the device options in your settings.
Yep.
You can go to storage management. That'll tell you how much like storage you have. Mm-hmm. Which, by the way, I have a 32 gigabyte freaking Kindle. I've used 1.42 gigabytes. Oh, yeah. And I have almost.
I think my Oasis is 32 gig as well.
Well, and I have almost. Here's for reference. I've used less than 2 gigabytes worth of storage, and I have over 200. Or I have over 700 books on this thing. Like, I have almost 800. Yeah. So.
I don't even know if I'm going to be able to charge this because it's not even recognizing the charge.
I'd remove mine from my device as soon as I'm done reading them.
Yeah.
But I don't use my Kindle like you guys do. You guys know that. Like I use it for ARCs. I use it if I can't find something in print or I want to read something with bigger print than what I have. Or
unlike me. Unlike me, who uses it as my main source of reading.
Right.
If you go to device settings, device options, and then device info, it'll tell you like if your Kindle has a name. So like mine is named Harley Quinn because that's what Ari named it.
Yeah.
Fine. And then it'll tell me like the device type. So I have the Kindle Paperwhite Signature Edition, 11th generation, and then it'll give you all the rest of it. So like if it's Wi-Fi or whatever compatible, it'll tell you how much space is available. So if you go into your device options and then you go into device info, it should tell you if once you get it charged, if the Kindle is a basic or a Paperwhite.
Okay, cool.
The biggest difference between the two is that the Paperwhite is water resistant. So if you drop it into the tub, it's not going to die on you.
Yeah.
The list based on British publication dates are tricky to get in the US before the winner is announced. I'd rather read the 2023 long list now or the 2024 list next year to have time to find them all. That's fair.
I have actually got a few of the ebooks off Z Library.
14 is almost the entire women's prize long list. Listen, it's not about the number of books for me. It's about what they are. I'm not really a literary fiction girly.
Yeah, there's that too. Like,
but I'll listen to Nicole talk about them, and then if I feel like reading them,
well, that's like Brittany watches them because she likes to hear about what the books are, but she doesn't have to read them. Like,
same here, because I like lit fic, but if I was going to tackle like a list, I would want to tackle like, what is it? What's the horror list?
The Shirley Jackson Award. There's that for the horror.
There's a couple of them. I think there's a Edgar Allan Poe Award.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna cut my hair. I'm sick of it. Not like crazy. Like I could still pull it into a ponytail. I just think I'm gonna cut it.
The little lights come on, and it did a bit of flashing things, but now it's, I don't know what's doing.
Coda, Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell didn't make the women's prize long list, but A Little Life was shortlisted.
Yes.
Yeah, but Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell did make the fantasy list.
Yeah, and you don't get a lot. You don't get a lot of fantasy on the women's prize. It's mostly just lit fic, as you called it.
It won the Hugo Award that year, and the World Fantasy Award. So maybe
Chris,
they just are on third list.
I just got these. A demon's. I just got it for the title. A Demon's Guide to Wooing a Witch.
Yes.
Wow.
I do. So I was very,
and I got this one, Chris, which is
it's pretty.
Yeah.
Chris, I did beat myself up a little bit at first with not being able to read, and also taking such like a hiatus from like diamond painting. Now the diamond painting thing was because like I bought so many last year. And then somebody reached out to me and was like, hi, I have some diamond paintings that I would like to like give to you. So I like felt guilty that I just had them like sitting there, like doing nothing. But then I remembered that like there are people with whole channels that have like diamond paintings from like 5 years ago that they still haven't done. So I'm doing fine. You know what I mean?
I've got diamond paintings that I bought in 2018.
And they're definitely not beating themselves up about it. So why should I be beating myself up about it when I just started diamond painting in 2023? And at the end of 2023, I will say that as far as reading went, I did beat myself up like quite a bit, as Nicole knows. Mostly because I was like, people are not gonna want to be part of my channel if I'm not like uploading content. And then she made a good point that like I do sprints, like I do give content even if it's not videos, like sit down videos. So,
and you also have to remember too, Neva, you started your channel as sprints.
Yeah, my channel did start as sprints. It was not really like a video channel. Like I think the first like 2 or 3 months all I did was sprints. So, every so often,
and that's why we started sharing across, because
which I will say, I personally think that I do it this way with my channel and content because I would rather put out vlogs that I really enjoy making, that were like fun for me, that bring me joy, than to make just a whole bunch of like sit down videos that I feel like are mediocre. This is not anything against anyone else. There are plenty of people that I watch, like Brianna and Brittany, that do wonderful sit down videos that I love to watch, that I watch every video that they put out. I'm just not really like a sit down and film a video kind of girly, unless it's like a whip and chat, because then you can't see my face. So Every so often, I make a rule that I can only start a new book when I finish a currently reading book, so my numbers get back to a comfy range of 5 to 8 or less. That's a good rule. I have started a rule that says, girl, get back to what you know and read one goddamn book at a time. That's my rule. 1, not 12. Okay? We're not trying to, I mean, that works for like Rainy, you know, to read that many books at once. For me, it makes me want to cry. So let's not.
I mean, it's supposed to be like, yeah, we're making content and all that sort of stuff, but it's also supposed to be enjoyable at the same time.
Yeah.
Like we're supposed to be enjoying what we're doing. And I mean, and quite frankly, if you're going to do videos, you're going to just do them for the hell of doing it. It's going to come across and people aren't going to watch anyway. So
yeah. Chris says it amuses me that the judge describes the blue beautiful world being about climate change when that's maybe about 5%. It's actually more about AI and virtual reality.
That's what I heard. That was about AI. I think I might have actually heard Chris say it. So
that book sounds interesting.
Hoda doesn't even have any video content, but look at how many subscribers he has just by being on streams and in the comments. Exactly. And Nicole does make a good point, and she consistently reminds me that like I did not come out of the gate on BookTube just like making videos. Like I came out doing sprints because I was like, oh, I can do a live stream, that's fine. And then I made my like booktuber newbie tag, and people started requesting like other videos, so I started making other videos. But my video, like actual video content, has not been super consistent. But I've stayed consistent with sprints, so I feel like
well, and that's what I was saying the other day. Like it's, I mean, even if you don't put a video out every Thursday night, you do a live stream.
Yeah, and we're adding Saturday. I'm adding Saturday daytime sprints too. So yeah. Which, by the way, for like the 10 people that saw my post earlier today,
I was like 400 of these leads. Finally found one.
My
post doing that whole time.
My post that I made about sprints for Saturday being moved to 5 p.m. I deleted that post because the little trip that I'm taking, the little place I'm going on Monday, I thought I was going on Saturday, which was why I was going to push them. But now I'm not doing it Saturday. I'm doing it Monday. So the sprints will actually be at 2 p.m. Central Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. So it's back to the right time, which is why I just like deleted that post because I was like, this is not relevant now.
Shannon, you should see how many LinkedIn connections I have.
Oh my.
I just love connecting with people.
Chris says I have book commitment issues, so I tend to read around 7 or 8 at a time, which I mean, if that works for you, I love it for you, you know?
It's interesting that you say that because I have commitment issues to I just realized my book is wrecked, you bastards. I can deal with it. I have commitment issues with TV and movies and stuff like that, but I don't have commitment issues with books or series. That look, it's damaged.
Damn.
Can you see?
I can see it. Yeah.
Yeah. Damn. Oh, I'm not going to wait for him to send me another one. That takes a month of Sundays over here.
See, that's why I just damaged mine because then it doesn't matter.
You
can't. No.
Yeah, I can see it. No respect, mate. No respect.
What?
Raleigh said, I'm so enjoying my current books, Murder Road and The Stowaway. Wonderful. Pushing to make content is why people make videos about books they haven't read or do clickbait videos about books they hate. It's obvious versus Nicole's more truthful and entertaining vlogs.
I don't know about entertaining.
And I will say, like, my vlogs do very, like, when I do put out vlogs, like, they do well. So I feel like y'all clearly just want me to, like, actually talk about whatever I want and want them to be, like, quality. So
Yeah, well, I was quite surprised because I put in depth on last week's vlog because I was checking in and all that sort of stuff. And a couple of people said they really liked the fact that I went into date, like why I was liking it and stuff like that, which sometimes can border on spoiler, but I don't think a lot of people that are watching the vlogs aren't going to read the books anyway. So I don't think that they actually really care. So,
I think that people who do care would probably just skip that part. Like,
yeah, and I don't really give that, like, there's no way that you would actually have anything given away because it's so vague when I do say something about it. It's not definitive what I'm talking about. Like, I'm not telling you how the book ends or anything like that. I'm sort of just giving you, for lack of a better term, a blow by blow through the book. So
yeah,
my cat's inside at the moment, very, very upset because we had to trap a wild cat the other today. We had a trap out the back.
Oh, really?
We had a stray here that was just really upsetting our cat. She was like starting to drop weight and get real skittish because it was just pounding her. And so we ended up going to the RSPC and getting a trap and trap the thing. And it's gone. And when it got trapped, she's like, and then the bitch went and sat at the door and taunted it. Like, you bitch. But it's been hassling her, so. So, yeah.
Yeah, this one sounds interesting just by the title, to be honest.
I'm actually intrigued by it as well because it's about AI.
My list.
And like even some of the other people that I watched said, oh, it's a third book in a trilogy, and it's not. There are other books in this world, but they're not connected. Because I went and read the synopsis and went and done a little bit of research because I thought, I'm going to have to read these two books before I read this. How big are they? And it was like, that was such misinformation.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything about it being a part of a series.
No, it's not part of a series at all. Like, I went and read the synopsis and did a bit of research on the other two books. There are two other books that are set in this world, but they're not. It's not a series.
Yeah, the best of all possible worlds in the Galaxy game.
Mm.
But yeah, no, this I like the covers on all of them.
I grabbed too many arcs on that Galley and Lyra books. It was trusting me, but I'm telling myself screw them if I don't get to them. Yeah.
Well, you could always just do what I did. Just start right at the bottom of the list and start working your way through. And I just try and do a couple each week. At this point in time, I'm doing I'm trying to do between 3 and 4 for each video that I do, but it could take me 2 weeks to read that 3 or 4. It depends on the size of the book as well.
Riley, are you asking about A Little Life? It's good writing and it's good storytelling. It's tough content, but I'm not disliking it. I'm just taking my time.
When you went, oh, I just had to put the book down. I'm like, yeah, I know where you're at.
Caleb guy's a motherfucker, dude, and I'm just like,
so is. He's just not.
Yeah, it's some people suck. That's all.
I just had to I was the same. I just had to put the book down at that point and walk away from it.
And it's not even that big of like that chapter is long, but it's not even the whole chapter. It's just like the very end of that chapter. But it feels like by the time you're through it, it feels like it was the whole chapter, even though the first 3/4 of the chapter don't deal with that.
No.
I was just like, oh man, this was a 2-hour.
It was hectic
with a 30-minute ending, man. No, I'm excited to continue it. I've got a lot going on right now, so I chose a bunch of mammoths this month, and so
But you and Rainey have also discussed that you're going to continue it on. You're not trying to rush through it now.
Right.
And I don't think it is a book that you can rush through because sometimes you just need to take that moment to step away from the little life.
Well, and I like I like it just, as it is. I'm
Yeah.
enjoying it, so I don't want to rush it and have that affect my experience with it because I'm enjoying it. It's just, yeah, a little bit at a time here. If I was still in the type of person that I was like a year ago, where I just read a book at a time, I probably would have finished it already because it is activating writing, and I do read every day, every day for hours. So
That's why your library's not done, dude.
exactly. No, that's no lie because I'll sit here and read instead. But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm reading this chunk or two this month too, so you'll see I have it split up by days.
Yeah. Oh yeah, cool.
But
yeah.
it's interesting. It's a lot going on.
Shannon, Neva's preoccupied with something.
No, I was letting y'all talk, and then I was gonna read the comments.
Oh, okay. You're just off with Neva's off with the pixies today. I don't know. I've just taken over.
For those that make videos on the internet, we get pulled into the mindset where we forget that we are human and not infallible and can take a break sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I wrong? With
and honestly, in saying, just going back to that, like, and at the end of the day, like, I think sometimes we get into this mindset that we have to put these videos out because people are expecting these videos, and our subscribers are expecting us to put out content, and we get into that perpetual cycle of we must, when in actual fact we must take care of ourselves, because otherwise we'll burn out and we won't be here in a year or whatever. And that's what I've done with my craft channel. Like I got into that cycle where I must put out a video and all that sort of stuff. And I got to the middle of last year and just went, you know what? I don't actually have to put a video out. Maybe 5 or 6 people out of the 33,000 people that follow me, or 34,000 people, whatever it is now, that follow me, maybe 5 people that I don't know actually said, is everything okay? Because I just disappeared. So, and it was a good life lesson for me, because I can get into that cycle of because I am a workaholic, hands down. I will keep myself busy, or actually I'll change it as opposed to a workaholic. I am a person that needs to keep busy all the time, and I'm always doing something, whether it's work, crafting, play, or whatever. I'm always doing something. As long as my eyes are open, there is something being done. And I got into that cycle that I must. And then I realized that I could take time off because no one actually gave a shit whether I put out a video or not. It was just the pressure that I put on myself. And it wasn't because of the content that I was putting out or not putting out or whatever. It's just that actually people don't give a shit, because there are how many other people creating content? They'll just move on. And if they really like me, they'll come back when I start putting stuff, if they want to see something from me. But out of, like, when you look at it that way, when, I've got 34,000 subscribers on a channel, and only 5 people that I didn't know sent a message to see if I was okay. Like, it just shows that it's just a cycle that we put ourselves in.
Yeah. Am I wrong? But didn't one of the judges describe one of the books as an essay collection?
Not in the because essays aren't allowed. Oh, maybe it's the 8 Lives of the Century-Old Trickster. It's like it's a collection of short stories, but it's not, because they're all interconnected to make the novel. They're not. I think that's what they were talking about, that particular book. So that is on my list to read next week, I think. It's one I'm reading with my eyeballs, so I think I'm starting that on Monday. I don't have my book in front of me, so I'll be able to tell you.
Started thinking about making bookish content to show my siblings what I'm reading, and to let friends see how I read so much and what books I read. I do seem to read a bit more with my channel. I didn't feel like I missed anything with the Blue Beautiful World. The only difficult part is some of the tech gibberish can get intense, but I worked through it. I'm sure Wheel of Time was harder. Yeah, kind of. I'm here. We are gonna wrap up pretty soon, only because I do have to go to freaking orientation at 9 o'clock. So
I'm going.
but yeah, I mean a little. I
I'm
guess
reading.
fading.
I'm not doing any of that. I might go for a walk in the morning. Gee, this must have been really flat. It's only just come onto the screen where it says USB drive mode. It must have been so flat
No,
the whole time.
It was dead. That's why
It was dead. Yeah.
it had given up. You know what I'm saying? Rewatched the announcement video. Shannon, the judge, described in defense of the act as an essay.
You see, essays aren't supposed to be in, and this is where a lot of people are getting really pissy about the list, because the conditions are no short stories and no essay collections, and no poetry. It must be a work of fiction, novel, and it has to have I think it's 80,000 words or something more, which is around 200 pages.
which is pretty much the definition of a novel, anyways. Otherwise, it's a novella, right? Like,
yeah. Right. So, and that's where people in the last couple of years have got really pissy, because last year we had Homesick by Jennifer Croft, which was released in the US as a memoir, and it was on the UK, and then it was put as fiction. What do they call it? Biography fiction.
Biographical.
Yeah. That's it. That's the word I was looking for. Fiction on the UK list. So a lot of people were confused by that, because memoirs aren't supposed to be on there, because technically a memoir is nonfiction. And then there was I think there was something about I'm a fan as well, because that was just, that barely made, like, it was a really good book and all the rest of it, but it barely made the word count, because it was like little vignettes through it. So yeah, so like it was, and I think that's where the whole conversation across BookTube and all the rest of it are getting really pissy about it, because these things are getting, the judges are saying things like essay or a collection of short stories, and people are getting pissy about it because that's not what it's supposed to be. But I think that comes down to the fact that this is what the publishers are putting forward. So it's not even really the judge's fault. It's more, I mean, really, I guess it's twofold, because the judges should go, well, this doesn't meet the criteria. It's automatically out, regardless of whether the publishers put it in. And the publishers shouldn't be putting in those sort of books and all the rest of it. So it's a sort of twofold fault there.
In defense of the act is a novel, but it's written in a style of blog essays. The judge should have been more specific, because it's not an essay collection. Yeah.
But see, when this is what I'm saying, like when the judges say things like that, it automatically sets the tone. That people automatically will think that is an essay collection. And they'll go into it thinking it's an essay collection, learn that it's not, but then there's a lot of people, as Chris, I think, or Shannon was saying the other day, a lot of people on Instagram got the entire long list and haven't even talked about them. So, yeah.
I put this on my to buy list, Chris, because Nicole told me I'd like it.
It's really good. I enjoyed it.
Okay, friends. I hate to love you and leave you. You know what I'm saying?
Was it good for you?
It was good for me. Was it good for you?
Did it rock your world, baby?
Yes,
Are you
ma'am.
satisfied?
She's like, bye.
Okay, so Neva has left the stream.
Goodbye.
There you go. She's gone.
But no, on that note, that's all that I have in me today. I did not think I was fading until I had to talk. So there's that. Does anyone have anything that they want to plug?
I mean, it is after dark. Just kidding.
anything content wise you would like to plug?
For the record, I'm just going to bed.
I'm just like, I don't even know where to go with this. I'm just going to look over here. What's happening over here? Oh, dear me. No, we'll be back on Sunday night.
Yes, you
And
will.
And you've got your sprints tomorrow during the day.
Yeah, so I have sprint Saturday, which is today now for some people, at 2 p.m. Central Time, which is 3 p.m. Eastern. So they'll be shortly after Margaret's sprints. I believe she's ending at 1.
It's tomorrow.
I think I'll be sleeping because I think
Yeah.
that's like 2 o'clock in the morning for me.
So yeah, we're gonna try doing some Saturday sprinty sprints. So if you want to join,
Yeah, I should be back by then. We're gonna
please
go.
do.
hiking and-
Coda, I'll send you the link if you want to join on camera. But we will be actually reading for Saturday sprints.
Yeah, that's
Saturday
fine.
because it's like afternoon.
Send the link in Voxer and if I'm awake, because that's been a bit of a trend this week.
Yeah, so I
Nicole
will
just pops on like
send it.
You never know, the band The Goats Next Door might start up.
Yeah,
no one
we
in the
got
chat knows about that because I've only told you guys.
Shannon, we got the yes ma'am. That was very uncomfy. Okay. But at least it was Coda saying it and not like some random weirdo. You know what I mean? Thank you for hanging out, Chris. Goodbye.
It's a weirdo she knows, so it's fine.
JB says thanks, Conchella, Berry, and Anastasia for a fun.
You gotta say it right. Betty.
No problem.
Who knew that I could do an English French accent? Who knew? Like, I don't even know where that came from.
I'm gonna start doing shorts on Instagram. It's me, Betty. What are you reading? I am reading this.
Please do it in your story. Margaret is the word nerd, but nerd is spelled with a 3 and not with an E. You're welcome. Probably be on for tomorrow's sprints and definitely for Nicole's sprints. We love to see it. All right, friends, that's all that I have. I have nothing to promote. I have videos that need to be edited. I have videos that need to be uploaded. Okay, they're coming at some point. They will hit Patreon before they hit the main feed. That's just the way that it is. Patreon, I'm really slacking on the Patreon. I really got to get on that. But
we have a podcast to make, y'all.
That's it. Yeah, it's pretty soon. Soon here, we'll be having an episode of the Unhinged podcast. So if you want to be able to be a part of that, of voting for the time and the date and the plate, well, we're all gonna be at home, but for the time and the date that you would like to see that live stream, it's Patreon only, and you have to be subscribed to the highest tier, which is $8 American, the wives, because we are a hockey themed Patreon over here. That's not changing anytime soon. And
it's important to note that if you think you're getting enough unhingedness just by attending Chatty Bits, you're wrong. You need to come to the Unhinged podcast to get.
Listen, we've already.
It gets so much worse.
Listen,
there's so much more to reveal.
We've already told y'all that we are going to be talking about Snape wives. You know you want to hear about it. So come subscribe. $8 a month.
You might catch me practicing my pod and my interpopod dancing.
What is happening? Also over on Patreon, you will be getting, actually starting Actually, I'm gonna be filming it, and it's gonna go up by the first week of April. I'm committed to that. Starting by the first week of April, Patreon. Well, I think I have to double check my tiers. Okay, I'm really bad at Patreon. Clearly, I believe the third and fourth tiers are the ones that get the like exclusive smutty vlog a month. So it will be changing. Like I will change every month how I give that vlog. For this month, I think I'm just gonna read like smutty books for like a week or something, like books that I have had on my TBR, but sometimes they could just be like the smutty books that I've read in the month or my favorite smutty recommendations, but I'll be able to go more in depth about the books over on the Patreon because YouTube's not out here trying to like censor me, you know?
They flag you all the time when it's inappropriate.
Yeah, it's really rude. So come over to Patreon.
Have you guys gotten flagged for our After Dark sprints at all?
No.
I'm surprised.
But yeah, I'm surprised too.
They
But,
honestly obviously don't know context.
But yeah, just if you want to join the Patreon, come over there. It's a holly jolly good time. Well, it's gonna be a holly jolly good time once I get my act together. And
give yourself a break, mate. Like you've just moved states. Like you've been there for what, 2 weeks and a week and a half. Just settle pedal. It's okay.
So I've officially been here for it was 10 days on the 17th. But you know, I've also had some. I'm not going to talk about on the internet. Nicole and Coda know, but like I've also had like just some like life things that I've had to deal with on the back end. No pun intended.
I was gonna say, and this is where Coda chimed in.
It's like
behind the scenes, there have been some personal things I've had to be dealing with. That was a really unfortunate wording.
it was the pointing that sold it, that drove it home.
Lord.
And I wasn't gonna say anything. I'm sure Nicole saw my face change when you
I
said
did
it.
also. And I was like,
I wasn't gonna say anything until you were like
what I just said was really unfortunate. So yeah, there's just been some personal things that I've had to deal with behind the scenes that's not gonna be on the internet because it's not your business. I love y'all, but no. And
Neva, this is when you know Neva's getting real relaxed because the vape comes out. She's like, "Yeah, I'm done. I don't care anymore."
Yeah, I don't usually vape on the internet.
Yeah, it's like I don't care anymore. I don't give a shit what you all think. I'm just like,
hey, Neva, say who are you?
Unfortunately, I am not the caterpillar from Alice in Wonderland. But yeah, I probably do need a break. Will I take one? Probably, because Nicole will be like, "Excuse me, Missy, sit your ass down and relax.
Take a chill pill and just relax.
You're already making vlogs. Like I'm actually like in the process of making vlogs. That's the thing. So it's not like
and
I'm
you just
not
got like you're getting your equipment all sorted and all the rest of it. Just breathe. It's okay.
Yeah, Nicole's like, listen, Missy.
Don't take advice from me. Like, who the fuck am I? Like, I'm no one.
I am your mother.
She's all take a break, and then she persists to read 30 books in a month.
That's what I mean. Why would you fucking listen to me? For fuck's sake! Like,
honestly, I'm really surprised that when I said, "Oh yeah,"
do as I say, not as I do. All right.
I'm really surprised that when I was like, "I'm going to do 30 and 30," Nicole wasn't like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?"
Oh, I cannot throw stones in that
Nicole
house.
Definitely, when I'm like, wow, I just feel like I'm letting everybody down because I haven't had any content. She's like, you just moved.
Well, you did. You just moved like
16
like days ago.
And she's like,
have you got everything unpacked?
Hell no. But she's like, that's part of why we're doing sprints, like productive sprints tomorrow, because I'm gonna hope to get things unpacked. Like I can't even show you like that side of the room. Like there's a reason I'm sitting the way that I am, because that side of the room looks like a bomb went off. There's just clothes everywhere.
Well, like
All right,
you
so
heard
you
what my
work on
bathroom looked
that.
like today.
And I'll work on the library.
We'll keep each other accountable. Plus, we'll be body doubles too,
I'll try.
because I'll keep my camera on, and then we can like come back to the camera sometimes and be like, and then like run away.
Yeah.
You know? Wow,
Yeah,
tomorrow is gonna be unhinged for regular ass sprints, but it's fine.
But not as unhinged as the unhinged podcast.
Nothing is as unhinged as that, friends. All right. So that's it. That's all. We will see y'all. Well, I will see y'all tomorrow. Probably Coda too. We'll see you tomorrow.
And if the goats next door carry on.
If the goats are goating, we'll also see Nicole. Otherwise, we'll see Nicole on Sunday. So thank you so much for hanging out with us.
It feels like it's been a bad night.
Everybody in the comments are going, what the hell are they talking about?